Chapter 1858. With young Master Huang's status, he was considered a respectable figure. Because he was rich, he could find any woman he wanted. Without young Master Huang, her daughter couldn't live with her for the rest of her life. She could only live a good life with young Master Huang. "Mother, I know," Zhao Xinhui replied impatiently. Hu Chenhua didn't dare to say more, for fear of making Zhao Xinhui unhappy. Zhao Yin, and the other three sisters-in-law of old Zhao's family all stopped what they were doing and watched young Master Zheng receive the bride. Seeing such a shabby wedding procession, Zhao Yin couldn't help but feel sad for Zhao Jing. She was different from others. Regardless of whether she was rich or poor, she hoped that the man she lived with for the rest of her life would be loyal to her. In other words, she would only accept one wife and one husband. She wouldn't share a man with another woman. Zhao Jing was obviously disliked as a concubine. She was just a tool to give birth to children. She didn't know how much she would suffer in the future. Unfortunately, everyone chose their own path. They should consider the consequences before making a choice. No matter how painful it was, they had to bear it until the end. As for her wedding with Mu Yinfeng, she could postpone it, but it had to be grand. She had to let everyone know that she was Mu Yinfeng's wife. Other women couldn't covet her man. "The groom is here. The groom is here. Bride, get ready to come out of the room," someone shouted. After a while, Li Chuiying helped Zhao Jing out of the room. Seeing that her daughter was really getting married this time, Li Chuiying wiped the tears from the corners of her eyes. The tears that she couldn't hold back suddenly gushed out. After hearing Li Chuiying's crying, Zhao Jing tugged at Li Chuiying's hand. "Mother, don't cry. I'll try to come back to see you often." "Yes, second brother's wife, don't cry. Today is a joyous day. It's bad luck to cry." Zhao Baoshan comforted her. "You're still so reluctant to let your daughter get married. What's there to be reluctant about? My daughter will have a good life after she marries him." Zhao Wenshui muttered beside Li Chuiying, without the slightest reluctance of father. In Zhao Wenshui's opinion, they would only be able to live a good life if Zhao Jing really married into young Master Zheng's family. Zhao Wenshui hoped that Zhao Jing would send more good things back to her parents' home. That way, he wouldn't have to move his hands or feet. He wouldn't even have to farm, but he would still have good wine to drink and meat to eat. How comfortable would that be? Li Chuiying glared at Zhao Wenshui with dissatisfaction. He felt that Zhao Wenshui was heartless. His daughter would belong to another family after she got married. How could she say something like that? Although she was angry, she couldn't quarrel with Zhao Wenshui on such a joyous day. She just silently kept this matter in her heart and would slowly settle old scores with Zhao Wenshui in the future. Okay, don't dawdle. Young Master Zheng is here to pick her up. Second brother's wife, let Jing go," Zhao Baoshan urged. Now that young Master Zheng had only brought so few people over, the longer they stayed, the more people would see them. Old Zhao's family would become a bigger joke. Li Chunying answered weakly. She held Zhao Jing-er's hand reluctantly and said, "Jing-er, no matter how much I miss you, you're going to get married." Chapter 1859. Zhao Jing-er replied in a choked voice, "Mother, I know. You and father have to take good care of yourselves." Zhao Wenshui smiled and said, "Don't worry, Jing. Just marry well. If father and mother run out of money, we'll ask you for it." After Zhao Wenshui said that, Li Chuiying couldn't help but stomp on Zhao Wenshui's foot. "My daughter is getting married. What are you talking about?" Zhao Wenshui also replied unwillingly. "What am I talking about? Am I not telling the truth? I just want Jinger to know that she has to save money when she marries into a rich family, just like her aunt. Look at how comfortable Jinger's grandparents are living. It's all thanks to her aunt." Li Chuiying was so angry at Zhao Wenshui that he couldn't speak. He was a lazy man who didn't know how to go out and earn money. As a man, he didn't have the responsibility that a man should have. He actually hoped to get money from his daughter to enjoy life. His conscience had been eaten by a dog. "Father, you don't have to tell me. I know that I won't let mother live a hard life." Zhao Jinger replied in a somewhat cold voice. She was also a bit disappointed by Zhao Wenshui's words, but only towards Zhao Wenshui. When she married into young Master Zhao's family, and really had money in hand, he would let her mother live a good life. She wouldn't care how her father lived. Zhao Wenshui replied with gratification, Jinger, you really are father's good daughter. Whether or not father can live a good life for the rest of his life depends on you. Li Chuanying secretly scolded Zhao Wenshui for being shameless, but he was afraid that saying it in front of Zhao Jinger would make her more sad and delay her marriage. So he took Zhao Jinger's hand and said, "Okay, let's go. Mother will send you to the sedan chair." "Okay," Zhao Jinger replied. Soon, Zhao Jinger was sent to the sedan. Young Master Zheng didn't stay long at old Zhao's house. He was just here to pick up someone and go through the formalities. He didn't want to have too much to do with old Zhao's family. After all, Zhao Jin was just a concubine that he had married. She was not an important person. It was almost 11 o'clock when the wedding procession left. Many people were waiting in old Zhao's yard for the banquet to begin. Knowing that Zhao Yun'er would be the chef again, many people were looking forward to this banquet. She treated the gift money she gave to old Zhao's second branch as spending some money on a big meal. After all, they couldn't afford to eat such good food in the town's restaurants. Li Chuanying sent Zhao Jinger off and wiped the tears from the corners of her eyes. She put away the reluctance and sadness in her heart and went to the kitchen to continue helping. She was afraid that a few people wouldn't be enough, so it was always good to help as much as possible. "Yun'er girl, is the banquet about to start?" Zhao Baoshan went into the kitchen and asked Zhao Yun'er. If Zhao Yun'er said the banquet was about to start, he would go set off the firecrackers. Zhao Yun'er nodded in response. "It's ready." "Okay," Zhao Baoshan said, and went out of the kitchen to send Zhao Wenshui out with the firecrackers. This was the second branch's big day. Something like setting off firecrackers naturally had to be done by Zhao Wenshui to celebrate. However, Zhao Wenshui looked at Zhao Baoshan with a bitter face. "Father, do I have to set off the firecrackers?" Zhao Baoshan glared at Zhao Wenshui. "If you don't set them off, who do you expect to set them off? Are you expecting this old man to help you?" Chapter 1860. Zhao Baoshan replied angrily, "Do your own thing. Why do you expect me to help you with such a small matter?" After being scolded by Zhao Baoshan, Zhao Wenshui responded weakly. It was impossible to count on his father. His father was really stingy. Wasn't it just setting off firecrackers? What was the big deal? When Zhao Wenshui saw Zhao Wentao walking towards him, he ran up to Zhao Wentao and said, "Fourth brother, can I ask you for a favor?" Zhao Wentao frowned. He was cautious and didn't immediately agree before Zhao Wenshui said what he needed help with. "Second brother, what do you want me to help with? Tell me first." Zhao Wenshui smiled embarrassedly and said, "Fourth brother, it's not a big deal. I just want to set off some firecrackers." When Zhao Wentao heard this, he felt that setting off firecrackers was indeed not a big deal. However, he looked at Zhao Wenshui in confusion and said, "Second brother, isn't it just setting off firecrackers? Why do you want to set them off? Why don't you set them off yourself?" Zhao Wenshui didn't know how to answer Zhao Wentao's question for a while. Zhao Baoshan snorted coldly and said, "Second brother, you've reached a new level of laziness, haven't you? You even let your fourth brother set off firecrackers. What else can you do with your long arms and legs? I think it's better to chop them up. There's no use keeping them." Zhao Wenshui pouted, feeling wronged. He explained to Zhao Baoshan, "Father, it's not because I'm lazy that I don't want to release them. Then why do you think it's because?" Zhao Baoshan asked angrily. "Father, I'm afraid of firecrackers." After Zhao Wenshui said this, Zhao Wentao and Zhao Baoshan were both stunned. "Afraid of firecrackers? Second brother, it can't be. Are you afraid of firecrackers?" "Lao Air, your excuse for being lazy is really good. You're a big man, and you're saying that you're afraid of firecrackers?" Zhao Baoshan scolded again. Zhao Wentao also felt that it was inconceivable. His second brother was a grown man. How could he be afraid of firecrackers? Even children who were a few years old were not afraid of them. Perhaps it was really as Zhao Baoshan had said. This was the reason why Zhao Wenshui was lazy. Zhao Wenshui replied aggrievedly, "Father, I'm telling the truth. I wasn't afraid of those firecrackers from afar, but once I got close, I was scared to death. Please do me a favor and help me. Help me set them off. Zhao Baoshan kicked Zhao Wenshui's butt. You're a man. Don't embarrass yourself in front of me. Hurry up and release it. Don't count on others. Zhao Wenshui staggered and almost fell to the ground. Fortunately, they were in the house. If someone saw this outside, they would laugh at him. Zhao Wenshui steadied himself and turned around. When he saw Zhao Baoshan's gloomy and uncertain face, he knew that it was impossible to trouble Zhao Baoshan. With Zhao Baoshan around, there was no way he could ask Zhao Wentao to help him. Zhao Wenshui glanced at the soaked firecrackers on the ground and felt a trace of fear in his heart. Unfortunately, he had no choice but to carry the firecrackers outside and set them off. With every step he took outside, he felt like he was facing death calmly. What's wrong with second uncle? Why does his face look so ferocious? Zhao Yuner looked out of the wooden shed. When she caught a glimpse of Zhao Wenshui's expression, she only felt that it was very funny. Chapter 1861. Liang Jinxiao also took a look and found it very strange. He shook his head and replied to Zhao Yuner, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with your second uncle. Then, Liang Jinxiao's gaze fell on Li Chuiying, and he said to Li Chuiying, second sister-in-law, is second brother feeling unwell? Li Chuiying glanced at Zhao Wenshui indifferently. He was still angry about what had happened just now. She was too lazy to pay attention to Zhao Wenshui now. So she said to Liang Jinxiao, third sister-in-law, don't worry about him. He will be fine. He won't die. Liang Jinxiao could tell that Li Chuiying's expression was not right. He thought that Li Chuiying was still very sad about marrying his daughter today, so he did not say anything else. Zhao Yuner's gaze followed Zhao Wenshui. She had a feeling that her eccentric second uncle would do something funny. Sure enough, he really saw it. Zhao Wenshui carried the firecracker to an open space, took out a fire starter, and put his trembling hands on the fire starter. However, before he could light it, he jumped away as if he was very scared. He closed his eyes tightly and covered his ears with his hands. He looked very funny. After a while, Zhao Wenshui seemed to feel that something was wrong. He looked at the firecracker he had placed and found that the cannon was not lit at all. It was motionless. He sighed resentfully and continued to endure the fear in his heart. He took out the fire starter and put it in front of the firecracker again. Zhao Yuner finally understood that her second uncle was afraid of the firecracker. It was really funny. Even a 3-year-old child was not afraid of it. Her second uncle was so old, but he was afraid of it? The other sisters-in-law in the kitchen also understood. Feng Zhangxia could not help but hold her stomach and laugh. She also wanted to make fun of Li Chuiying. Second sister-in-law, second brother is really funny. Look at how scared he is of the firecracker. Li Chuiying did not reply. His expression darkened. It was obvious that Li Chuiying was feeling uncomfortable. Feng Zhangxia continued to laugh. You can't find a man who is more cowardly than second brother in this area. Haha, it's fine if he is afraid of other things, but he is afraid of firecrackers. My Yang is not afraid. Second sister-in-law, you are so pitiful to have married such a man. Feng Zhangxia's ridicule, in Zhao Yun's view, was adding insult to injury. Instead, she continued to observe Zhao Wenshui's firecracker. Zhao Wenshui was definitely a top eccentric. He went back and forth 4 or 5 times, but he still did not light the firecracker. At this time, in the courtyard of old Zhao's house, the people who came to attend the banquet saw this. They all covered their mouths and snickered as they discussed Zhao Wenshui's behavior. Zhao Baoshan originally thought that Zhao Wenshui was just joking. Now that he saw Zhao Wenshui's actions, he was so angry that fire almost came out of his nostrils. He was angry and scolded. This second brother is really shameless. Our old Zhao family's face was almost completely ruined by him. Zhao Wenshui happened to walk to Zhao Baoshan's side. He followed Zhao Baoshan and said, "That's right, father. Second brother is really a coward. Don't blame others for laughing at him." Zhao Baoshan did not want to see Zhao Wenshui continue to embarrass himself. He nudged Zhao Wenshui beside him and said, "Boss, go, and help light the firecracker. If it can't be lit, the villagers will probably laugh their heads off. Chapter 1862. Of course, the most important thing was that he had helped Zhao Wenshui set off the firecrackers. In any case, he had done Zhao Wenshui a huge favor. It will be fine after the banquet. He could ask the second branch for more wine and food. Zhao Wenshui ran to Zhao Wenshui and taunted Zhao Wenshui, "Second brother, you're even more timid than a little rabbit, aren't you? You're actually this scared of a firecracker?" Zhao Wenshui replied pitifully, "Big brother, I'm not afraid of other things. I'm just scared of this thing. What can I do?" Zhao Wenshui then said to Zhao Wenshui, Okay, I'll set it off for you." Zhao Wenshui blinked his eyes in surprise. "Big brother, is what you said true? Are you really going to set it off for me?" Zhao Wenshui raised his chin. "Of course. It's a piece of cake. But second brother, let's make a deal. You have to give me more wine to drink later." Zhao Wenshui agreed without hesitation. "Big brother, as long as you help me set off as much wine as you want." He had gone back and forth a few times now. His heart had long broken down. If he continued setting it off, he probably wouldn't be able to light it up. With Zhao Wenshui's promise, Zhao Wenshui was relieved. "Okay, here, give me the fire starter." Zhao Wenshui handed the fire starter to Zhao Wenshui. When Zhao Wenshui reached out to light the fire starter, Zhao Wenshui hurriedly said, "Big brother, wait a minute. What's wrong?" Zhao Wenshui replied in confusion. "Big brother, you have to wait until I'm far away before you set it off." Zhao Wenshui said weakly. He still looked very scared. I know. Zhao Wenshui was speechless. After Zhao Wenshui ran back into the house, Zhao Wenshui reached out to light the firecrackers. In the kitchen, Feng Zhangxia proudly said to Li Chuang, second sister-in-law, "Look at how cowardly your man is. My Tianlong's father is the best. He's not afraid of the firecrackers at all." Li Chuang sighed. She was already numb to Feng Zhangxia's scolding. In her heart, Zhao Wenshui was indeed not a good man. Now, she despised him even more. It was a pity that she had a hard life. She had married such a person in this lifetime, and there was no way to change it. Zhao Wenshui lit the fire with a match in his hand. In order to show that he was brave, Zhao Wenshui did not run away immediately. However, an accident happened at this time. The ignited firecracker suddenly exploded with a bang, causing sparks to fly everywhere. Fortunately, the firecrackers were held far away, and the villagers were not splashed by the sparks. However, Zhao Wenshui, who was only 1 meter away from the firecrackers, was in a miserable state. There were several holes in his clothes from the explosion, especially his buttocks, where his pants were completely torn apart. His buttocks and thighs were injured, and a lot of blood was oozing out. Everyone in old Zhao's courtyard was stunned. They had never encountered such a situation where firecrackers were set off. After everyone was stunned for a few seconds, they heard Zhao Wenshui's miserable scream. It hurts so much. It hurts so much." Feng Zhangxia, who was in the kitchen, was the first to run out. She shouted, "Tianlong's father, are you okay? Tianlong's father." Zhao Baoshan was stunned by the explosion of the firecrackers. What was going on? Boss was injured by the explosion? Were firecrackers that dangerous? Zhao Wenshui, who was next to Zhao Baoshan, patted his chest and sighed in relief. If Zhao Wenshui did not replace him, he would be the one who was hit by the firecrackers. Seeing Zhao Wenshui's clothes were torn apart and bleeding, Zhao Wenshui was scared witless. Chapter 1863. Zhao Wenshui said weakly to Zhao Baoshan, "Dad, look, I'm not afraid of the firecrackers for no reason. Previously, when I saw the firecrackers in the town, I remembered what had happened when I saw the firecrackers. Big brother was really injured by the firecrackers this time." Zhao Baoshan's expression was solemn, and the corners of his mouth trembled. He didn't expect Zhao Wenshui to be injured by the firecrackers. Thinking of how he reprimanded his second son, it seemed that he was the one in the wrong. "Dad, let's go and see big brother." Zhao Wentao's expression was also solemn, afraid that something would happen to Zhao Wenshui. They all walked toward Zhao Wenshui. Feng Zhangxiao rushed to Zhao Wenshui and found that Zhao Wenshui's body was covered with wounds, and he looked very miserable. "Oh, Tianlong's father, how did you end up like this? You have a hold on. Don't let anything happen to you." Feng Zhangxia cried and shouted. For women in ancient times, men were their sky, and women without men couldn't live their lives. It hurt so much. Zhao Wenshui was in so much pain that he almost cried. Not only was it painful, but the clothes on his buttocks were also torn open by the explosion, and it was exposed outside. Old Zhao's courtyard was used by so many people, and many people probably saw it. Who knew how they would laugh at him when he returned? Zhao Baoshan and the others also rushed to Zhao Wenshui's side and saw that Zhao Wenshui's injuries were indeed quite serious. Zhao Baoshan ordered Zhao Wentao, who was beside him, "Fourth brother, quickly go and call Dr. Sun over for Big Brother to take a look. Big Brother's injuries need to be properly bandaged." Feng Zhangxiao wiped the tears from the corners of her eyes and quickly responded, "Yes, yes, fourth brother, quickly go and help your big brother find a doctor." Then she turned to Zhao Wenshui and said to Zhao Wenshui, "Tianlong's father, you have to hold on. Fourth brother, go and find Dr. Sun now. Sister-in-law, don't be too anxious. Although Big Brother's injuries are a little serious, he definitely won't die. These are all external injuries, and internal injuries are difficult to treat." Zhao Wenshui comforted Feng Zhangxia. He felt a little guilty. After all, if his big brother didn't help him light the firecrackers, he wouldn't have been injured so badly. After Zhao Wenshui finished speaking, Zhao Baoshan glared at Zhao Wenshui. His tone was filled with displeasure. "Second brother, do you even know how to speak? If you don't, then shut up." He Baoshan's disdainful of Zhao's father. He Baoshan's father's father didn't even comforting people's as his father's as his disdain comforting him. Feng Zhangxiao was also a little unhappy and said to Zhao Wenshui, "Second brother, my family's Tianlong's father was injured so badly because he helped you set off the firecrackers. Do you still have any conscience?" Zhao Wenshui curled his lips in grievance and said, "Sister-in-law, how am I without a conscience? Seeing Big Brother like this, I also feel distressed. No one knew that this would really happen. If you knew, Big Brother definitely wouldn't have helped me light the firecrackers." Feng Zhangxia snorted coldly. "Humph, second brother, let me be frank. Today, your big brother was injured because he helped you light the firecrackers. Later, you have to compensate your big brother well. Later, you have to pay for Dr. Sun's medical fees. Later, when your big brother recuperates, you have to pay for some tonics. Otherwise, I won't let you off." Chapter 1864. Feng Zhangxia's expression became a little better, but she was still a little unhappy when she saw Zhao Wenshui's face. Her man was injured, so he definitely wouldn't be able to work during this period. He had to recuperate at home. However, it was the busy season now, so the rice in the field had to be tended. Without Zhao Wenshui, it was impossible. However, he didn't think about this for the time being. If he really didn't have anyone to help him at that time, he would continue to rely on Zhao Wenshui. Anyway, Zhao Wenshui was injured because he helped Zhao Wenshui set off the firecrackers. Zhao Wenshui had to be responsible for everything in his family. Zhao Baoshan said calmly, "Okay, don't say so much. Hurry up and help the boss into the house to rest. He can't keep lying on the ground." "Okay, Dad." Feng Zhangxia and Zhao Wenshui both responded and helped Zhao Wenshui up from the ground. Zhao Wenshui continued to cry out in pain, "Dad, it really hurts so much. My flesh is about to explode." Although Zhao Baoshan felt a little sorry for Zhao Wenshui, he still snorted coldly and replied to Zhao Wenshui, Okay, a man is injured. Can't you bear with it? Aren't you afraid of being laughed at by others when you keep crying out in pain?" "Dad, I can't stand the pain anymore," Zhao Wenshui replied weakly. "Hurry up and go back to the house." Zhao Baoshan urged again with a serious face. Just now, he had heard the villagers' discussion. Originally, today's joke was already big enough, but in the end, this happened again. Zhao Wenshui and Feng Zhangxia each supported Zhao Wenshui and finally helped Zhao Wenshu back to the house. After a while, Zhao Wentao brought Dr. Sun over. Seeing so many people in old Zhao's house, Dr. Sun was reluctant. After the incident between him and Ma Xiaofeng, he didn't want to go out and meet people. Because of this, he would often be scolded by others when he went out. He was already so old. How could he withstand the ridicule of others? He felt a little embarrassed, so he hid from the crowd. Now that old Zhao's family was holding a wedding and his wife was the one who came to drink, he hid in his room and didn't come. When Zhao Wentao came looking for him, he refused at first. Later, he couldn't win against Zhao Wentao. After all, it was a human life. If something happened, he would feel guilty. Thus, he overcame his psychological barrier and followed Zhao Wentao to old Zhao's house. He didn't expect to meet everyone's gazes as soon as he arrived. It was very uncomfortable being stared at. Dr. Sun hurriedly carried the medicine box and walked into the room in the lobby. Dr. Sun, can you help me take a look at my husband? Feng Qingxia saw Dr. Sun come in and quickly greeted Dr. Sunday. Only then did Dr. Sun approach the bed and check the injuries on Zhao Wenshu's body. They're all superficial wounds. It's not a big deal. He'll be fine after applying some ointment. However, if he comes into contact with water within half a month, it will be serious if he doesn't get pus. Dr. Sun instructed. Feng Zhangxia hurriedly nodded in response. It was good that it wasn't a big deal. If something really happened, how could a woman like her support a family? After Dr. Sun finished speaking, he took out the medicine from the medicine box and handed it to Feng Zhangxia. It's a total of 800 copper coins. Dr. Sun directly reported the price. Okay, Dr. Sun. After Feng Zhangxia took the ointment, she greeted Zhao Wenshu, second brother. Why are you still in a daze? Hurry up and get the money for Dr. Sunday. Do you expect me to give you 800 copper coins? Chapter 1865. With that, Zhao Wenshu left the room and ran towards the kitchen. As soon as he got to the kitchen, he yelled at Li Chuang, "Hurry up and give me one tael of silver." Li Chuang was slightly stunned and asked in confusion, "Jing-er's father, why do you want one tael of silver?" Li Chuang just thought it was strange, so he asked casually. However, Zhao Wenshu felt uncomfortable when he heard this. He felt that it was very embarrassing for a man like him to be asked such questions when he was looking for a wife to get some money. He then said to Li Chuang unhappily, "Why do you like to nag and ask so many questions? I asked you to give me the money, so give me the money. Why are you talking so much nonsense?" Zhao Wenshu's attitude made Li Chuang feel a little disappointed. Now he couldn't even ask about it. How badly did this man treat her? "Jing-er's father, I just asked casually. We don't spend money on wine at home." Li Chuang replied weakly. Zhao Wenshu's temper suddenly flared up. He waved his fist at Li Chuang. "I think you're itching for a beating, aren't you? How dare you talk to your man like that? You're like this because I treat you too well." Li Chuang's body was hit by Zhao Wenshu's fist, and he let out a painful groan. Zhao Yun couldn't stand it anymore. Zhao Wenshu was really disgusting. It was fine if he was tough to others, but he was always showing off in front of his wife. In front of others, he was a coward. Zhao Yun immediately pulled Li Chuang behind her and stood in front of Li Chuang. She said coldly to Zhao Wenshu, "Second uncle, you're really capable. You actually hit your wife. I don't know how shameless you are." Zhao Wenshu glared at Zhao Yun. "You damn girl, get out of my way. What does it have to do with you that I'm teaching my daughter-in-law a lesson? Although it has nothing to do with me, I like to interfere when I see something that I don't like." Zhao Yun said and kicked Zhao Wenshu hard. Then, Zhao Wenshu was seen flying through the air in an arc, falling far away. Even the chair was smashed down. Zhao Wenshu, on the other hand, let out a series of pig-like howls. "Oh, murder, murder!" Everyone stared at Zhao Wenshu. Not only did they have no intention of helping, but they also burst into laughter. A man was actually beaten up like this by a woman. He was really useless. If it was in the past, Li Chuang would have jumped over when he saw Zhao Wenshu suffer such a serious injury. Now that he saw Zhao Wenshu rolling on the ground in pain, Li Chueying didn't have the slightest sympathy. His eyes were still cold. Instead, he felt that Zhao Wenxue deserved it. If he didn't teach this kind of man a lesson, should he be kept alive for the new year? Hearing the commotion outside, Zhao Baoshan came out of the room to ask. Zhao Yu only explained faintly. When he saw Zhao Wenxue on the ground, Zhao Baoshan secretly shook his head. This second uncle wasn't a good person either. Second uncle's wife, this money is for your eldest brother's medical expenses. Second uncle came to get it from you, Zhao Baoshan explained. After hearing Zhao Baoshan's words, Li Chueying finally understood. Zhao Wenxue was injured because he helped their family set off the firecrackers. It was understandable that they had to pay for his medical expenses. Chapter 1866. Zhao Baoshan responded. After a while, Li Chueying took out one tael of silver and handed it to Zhao Baoshan. Zhao Baoshan took it and instructed Li Chueying to continue working. Although Zhao Wenxue was injured, the banquet still had to be held. As for Zhao Wenxue's side, Zhao Baoshan walked to Zhao Wenxue and kicked Zhao Wenshue's body heavily. Useless thing. Hurry up and get up. You only know how to make a fool of yourself. Zhao Wenxue was already injured. Now that he was kicked by Zhao Baoshan, the pain was even worse. Father, I'm in pain. I can't get up. Zhao Wenxue mumbled. If you can't get up, then sleep on the ground. Don't get up today. Father, Zhao Wenxue felt wronged and wondered if he was really Zhao Baoshan's biological son. Otherwise, why would Zhao Baoshan dislike him so much? Although it hurt, it wasn't to the extent that he couldn't get up. Zhao Wenxue propped himself up with some difficulty and followed Zhao Baoshan's footsteps. When they reached the house, Zhao Baoshan handed the tael of silver given by Li Chueying to Dr. Sunday. Dr. Sun took out 200 copper coins from the medicine box. After getting the change, he took the medicine box and was about to leave. Zhao Baoshan called out to Dr. Sun. Dr. Sun, why don't you stay for a banquet? It's just in time for lunch. It's troublesome for you to go back and cook. Why don't you eat here? One more person won't make a difference. Zhao Baoshan knew that Zhao Baoshan's wife came to Dr. Sun's house today, so Dr. Sun didn't have anything to eat. Therefore, he kindly said this. Dr. Sun shook his head. No, I'd better go home. For the sake of this meal, she would feel uncomfortable being stared at by so many people. Dr. Sun, you don't have to be so polite. It's just a banquet. Zhao Baoshan tried to persuade him again. Dr. Sun still shook his head. Old man Zhao, I appreciate your kindness, but I'll pass on the banquet. Since Dr. Sun had said so, Zhao Baoshan didn't continue to force him to stay. All right then. Dr. Sun, please be careful on the road. All right. After Dr. Sun left, Zhao Wenshue's injuries were treated. The kitchen continued to be busy preparing for the banquet. This banquet was quite interesting to watch. So many things had happened. Li Chueying's mood was affected the most. Seeing Li Chueying's sadness, Liang Jinxiao patted Li Chueying's shoulder and said, Second sister-in-law, don't be sad. You have to live well. Things will get better in the future. Well, thank you, third sister-in-law. Li Chueying had a faint smile on the corner of her mouth. Although it was indeed hard to live with Zhao Wenxue, not everyone around her was a bad person. Zhao Yun'er's family was good. They often helped her. The women were extremely busy in the kitchen. Fortunately, the banquet was finally over. Although the second branch's banquet wasn't as sumptuous as the third branch's, it was considered very good in the village. While Zhao Yun'er was busy, she was worried about Mu Lianfeng's situation at home. With Tian around, Mu Lianfeng definitely couldn't leave. She had to make some food and send it to Mu Lianfeng. After the banquet, it wasn't too late. The mealtime was only about an hour later than usual. Chapter 1867. Meanwhile, in the courtyard of Zhao Yun'er's house, Mu Lianfeng sat under the shade of a tree, holding Tian in his arms. Tian was very well behaved. Otherwise, it would be difficult for a man like him to torment her. Now that it was time for dinner, his stomach began to rumble, and he was a little hungry. But because he had to take care of Tian, he couldn't find anything for himself to eat. Moreover, he had to feed Tian milk. Zhao Yun'er had finished preparing the goat milk and told him to do so. Only then did he bring the goat milk out and feed Tian bit by bit. Seeing Tian eating so happily, Mu Yinfeng couldn't help but swallow a few mouthfuls of saliva. You little doll, I think you're doing it on purpose, right? You know that I'm hungry, so you're eating so happily. Are you trying to make me starve to death? Mu Yinfeng nagged at the little doll in his arms, but his tone was full of affection. Tian blinked at Mu Yinfeng, and her appearance was so cute that it could melt a person. Little girl, you're really good at pretending to be wronged. Don't think that you can act cute. Tian's eyes turned, and then she bloomed a sweet smile at Mu Yinfeng. Acting cute and smiling, Mu Yinfeng had to admit that he had been seduced by a little doll liar. Looking at Tian's delicate pink face, Mu Yinfeng couldn't help but start to daydream. He didn't know what Tian would be like when she grew up. She would probably be very cute. A gentle and graceful woman was a gentleman's dream. When the time came, Tian would definitely be pursued by many boys. As a father, he had to check carefully and choose a good husband for Tian in the future. After being stunned for a moment, Mu Yinfeng continued to feed Tian in his arms with a spoon. As he fed, he said to Tian, "Little girl, grow up quickly. When you grow teeth, you won't need to drink milk anymore. When the time comes, your mother will make meat for you to eat." Hearing the mention of meat, Tian's eyes lit up as if she was looking forward to it. Not far away, a slender figure suddenly walked over. It was a young girl wearing a pink dress. Coupled with her delicate face, she looked youthful and beautiful. Mu Yinfeng had seen this girl before. He also knew her name, Ma Xiaofeng. Last time, when his clothes were hooked by the thorns, it was this girl who helped him untie it. However, he had no feelings for Ma Xiaofeng. Thinking that Zhao Yun'er seemed to hate her, she didn't have a good impression of Ma Xiaofeng. Now, Ma Xiaofeng was walking towards Zhao Yun'er's new home. What was she going to do? While Mu Yinfeng was thinking, Ma Xiaofeng had already arrived at Zhao Yun'er's courtyard. As soon as Ma Xiaofeng saw Mu Yinfeng sitting under the shade of a tree, his long black hair fluttering in the breeze, his luxurious clothes, and his handsome face, her heart couldn't help but beat faster. Such a fine man, any woman who saw him would blush and have their hearts beat faster, and they would admire him. The reason why she came to Zhao Yun'er's house today was that she knew that Zhao Yun'er was helping the second branch to hold a banquet. The rest of Zhao Yun'er's family also went to help or drink wine. Thinking that Mu Yinfeng might be the only one at home, Ma Xiaofeng made up her mind to come over and take a look. She didn't expect to be so lucky it really was him. Usually, because Zhao Yun'er was there, she didn't find a chance to be alone with Mu Yinfeng. Without contact, how could Mu Yinfeng understand her? How could feelings develop over time? So she had to find an opportunity for herself. Chapter 1868. Ma Xiaofeng suppressed the anxiety in her heart and put on her best performance. There was a smile on her face that she thought was beautiful as she walked towards Mu Yinfeng with a swaying gait. When Mu Yinfeng saw Ma Xiaofeng walking over, Mu Yinfeng was disgusted by her bashful and pretentious manner. When Ma Xiaofeng was in front of him, Mu Yinfeng asked indifferently, "May I know why you're here?" Ma Xiaofeng stroked her long hair and smiled gently. "Lord Heir, I'm here to look for Tianan. Is Tianan home?" So she was here to look for Zhao Tianan. Although he didn't know why Ma Xiaofeng was looking for Zhao Tianan, Mu Yinfeng still replied, "He's not home. If you're looking for him, go to old Zhao's house. He's having a banquet now." Ma Xiaofeng hurriedly responded, "I understand, Lord Heir. Thank you for telling me." Mu Yinfeng replied indifferently, "You're welcome." With that, Mu Yinfeng stopped looking at Ma Xiaofeng and lowered his head to feed Tian. Ma Xiaofeng bit her lower lip indignantly. She had specially dressed up today and looked very delicate and pretty. Why did Mu Yinfeng spare her a glance? She had spent a lot of money to buy this brand new dress so that she could wear it for Mu Yinfeng. "Lord Heir," Ma Xiaofeng called out softly. Mu Yinfeng frowned and asked in a slightly displeased tone, "Miss, is there anything else about this matter?" The disdain and coldness in Mu Yinfeng's eyes made Ma Xiaofeng sad. However, Her morale wasn't so easily shaken. She tugged at the corner of her lips and continued to smile at Mu Lianfeng. Lord Heir, how can someone of your status take care of such a baby? You haven't eaten yet, right? Are you hungry? Do you want me to take care of her for you? Meeting Ma Xiaofeng's eyes, Mu Lianfeng fell into deep thought. This girl's enthusiasm was a little too much. Mu Lianfeng rejected her flatly. No need. I appreciate your kindness. But what? I don't know what you mean. Just say what you want to say. Mu Lianfeng's words made Ma Xiaofeng's face flushed red. Actually, he had already hinted strongly enough. Unfortunately, Mu Lianfeng pretended not to hear him and completely ignored him. What should she do if this went on? There was no progress between her and Mu Lianfeng. Lord Heir, I wonder what kind of girl Lord Heir likes. Ma Xiaofeng mustered up her courage to ask. Mu Lianfeng's brows knitted tightly together. If he didn't understand earlier, he completely understood now. This girl wasn't here to look for Zhao Tianan. She was clearly here to throw herself at him. There was no choice. With his face and his status as the Lord Heir, there were many girls who threw themselves at him. However, before meeting Zhao Yun, he had always avoided women. It wasn't until he met Zhao Yun that he realized that he could also fall in love with a woman. As for other women, he couldn't arouse any interest and didn't want to arouse any interest. If Ma Xiaofeng wanted to provoke him, she would probably be disappointed. Chapter 1869. Ma Xiaofeng blushed at Mu Lianfeng's words. She had imagined many scenarios, but she did not expect that Mu Lianfeng would say such things to her. When she met Mu Lianfeng's eyes again, she saw the disgust in Mu Lianfeng's eyes, as if she was something filthy. Lord Heir, I'm not a vain woman. Ma Xiaofeng bit her lower lip and muttered to Mu Lianfeng unwillingly. She stared at Mu Lianfeng nervously, afraid that Mu Lianfeng would dislike her again. Mu Lianfeng sneered. Isn't that so? Then tell me, why did you come to seduce me? Mu Lianfeng was very straightforward, directly saying that Ma Xiaofeng seduced him. These blatant words made Ma Xiaofeng even more unbearable. Ma Xiaofeng bit her lower lip in grievance and looked at Mu Lianfeng affectionately. Lord Heir, I didn't come because of your status and wealth. I simply admire you. Lord Heir, as long as it's a girl, she will fall head over heels for a person like you. I'm no exception. Even if you're not Lord Heir, I will still admire you. Ma Xiaofeng's words meant that she liked Mu Lianfeng and admired Mu Lianfeng purely because of Mu Lianfeng. Since that was the case, she naturally could not be considered a vain woman. Mu Lianfeng's lips curved into a sarcastic smile. Even if that's the case, your character is really unflattering. Ma Xiaofeng did not understand Mu Lianfeng's words and could not help but ask, Lord Heir, why do you say that? Mu Lianfeng said coldly, You know the relationship between Yun and I, yet you still want to interfere. Don't you think it's shameful to poach someone? Ma Xiaofeng was slightly stunned, and her face swelled to the color of a pig's liver. She had suffered such humiliation in the past. If it was someone else, she would have scolded back, but it had to be Lord Heir in order to save her image in Mu Lianfeng's heart. Ma Xiaofeng explained, Lord Heir, I know that you and Sister Yun have a very good relationship, but I admire you very much. Lord Heir, it's normal for someone of your status to have multiple wives and concubines. You can't be with only Sister Yun. Xiaofeng is not greedy for anything else. I just want to stay by Lord Heir's side, even if I don't have any status. After Ma Xiaofeng finished speaking, she was very much looking forward to Mu Lianfeng's reply. However, Mu Lianfeng's reply once again hurt her heart. Miss, you must be joking. I don't have any feelings for you. What does it have to do with me that you like me? Why should I let you stay by my side? This kind of merciless rejection made Ma Xiaofeng's face hurt. Lord Heir, aren't you going to get lost? Do you have to disgust me in front of me to make you happy? Mu Lianfeng urged her in disgust. Ma Xiaofeng was unusually embarrassed. Although she was not reconciled, she still left dejectedly. It was not easy for a girl to put down her face, but she had to suffer such treatment. It was really too sad. Watching Ma Xiaofeng's figure leave Zhao Yun's courtyard, Mu Yinfeng withdrew the coldness in his eyes. Mu Yinfeng was very disgusted by the woman who wandered around in front of him. Chapter 1870. Mu Yinfeng didn't continue to think about it. As long as Ma Xiaofeng didn't shamelessly refuse to leave, it was fine. Mu Yinfeng put away the emotions in his eyes and continued to feed Tian Tian, who was in his arms with the spoon in his hand. The toddler was probably enjoying it. Zhao Yin, on the other hand, walked back with a vegetable basket in her hand. She actually bumped into Ma Xiaofeng on the way. This road led to her house. Usually no one would pass by. Only her family and Mulan would pass by. Could it be that Ma Xiaofeng went to her house? Although she was puzzled, Zhao Yun'er didn't ask. After all, her relationship with Ma Xiaofeng wasn't good now. She didn't want to talk to this woman. When the two of them brushed past each other, Ma Xiaofeng raised her head and glanced at Zhao Yun. There was a flash of panic in her eyes. At the same time, Zhao Yun'er noticed that Ma Xiaofeng's eyes were a little red. She seemed to have cried. What was going on? Before Zhao Yun'er could say anything, Ma Xiaofeng quickened her pace and ran away. Seeing the figure running away in a panic, as if she was very scared and nervous, Zhao Yun'er frowned again. She increasingly felt that there was something wrong with Ma Xiaofeng. Judging from her posture, she must have come from her house. She was dressed to the nines and was even wearing a brand new pink dress. Suddenly, Zhao Yun'er thought of something. A ball of fire lit up in her heart. This be *TCH. Did she go to her house to look for Mu Yinfeng? She was smart. She knew that he went to old Zhao's house to hold a banquet and wasn't at home. So she took advantage of the time to come and look for Mu Yinfeng. Zhao didn't need to think to know what she was up to. However, judging from the situation, Ma Xiaofeng did not succeed. She didn't know what Mu Yinfeng had done to make Ma Xiaofeng cry. Interesting. Zhao Yun'er didn't think too much about it. She carried the basket and continued to walk up the mountain. Finally, she returned to her courtyard. At this time, Mu Yinfeng was sitting under the shade of a tree, holding Tian Tian in his arms and patiently feeding the goat milk. The contrast between the big and small figures was unusually warm, and Mu Yinfeng was becoming more and more like a super stay-at-home dad. Mu Yinfeng, Zhao Yun'er called out with a smile. Mu Yinfeng looked up and saw Zhao Yun'er's beautiful figure. Clearly, Zhao Yun'er was only wearing a coarse garment. It couldn't be compared to Ma Xiaofeng's pink dress. Zhao Yun'er was older in age, but when he looked at Zhao Yun'er, he felt that Zhao Yun'er had a special temperament. This temperament was very charming and attracted him. And when he saw Zhao Yun'er's gaze, his mood also brightened. Yun'er, it's time to eat. Zhao Yun'er carried a lunchbox in her hand and waved it in front of Mu Yinfeng. Mu Yinfeng's lips curled into a faint smile. Okay, I'm hungry now. Zhao Yun'er opened the lunchbox and placed the dishes in front of Mu Yinfeng. Although there were only 3 dishes, Mu Yinfeng ate them all by himself. In order to let Mu Yinfeng eat, did she? Zhao Yun'er took Tian Tian from Mu Yinfeng's hands. After drinking milk, Tian Tian fell asleep in a short while. Zhao Yun'er carried the child back to the house to rest. Seeing that Mu Yinfeng was eating, Zhao Yun'er held her face as if she was thinking about something. Mu Yinfeng put down his bowl and chopsticks and couldn't help but ask, Yun'er, what's wrong? Yun'er seemed a little strange. Zhao Yun'er came back to her senses and tugged at the corner of her mouth. Nothing. Chapter 1871. It was precisely because he didn't know what Zhao Yun'er was thinking that something was wrong with Zhao Yun'er that Mu Yinfeng was extremely anxious. Seeing that Mu Yinfeng continued to ask, Zhao Yun'er didn't hide it and smiled. I saw Ma Xiaofeng just now. Did she come to our house? Mu Yinfeng replied, Yes, she came to look for me. Seeing that Mu Yinfeng explained so clearly, Zhao Yun'er's smile deepened. This man was very honest in front of her and didn't hide anything from her. Mu Yinfeng was afraid that Zhao Yun would misunderstand, so he hurriedly said, But Yun'er, don't think too much. Although she came to look for me, I chased her away. Of course I won't think too much. I believe that your taste won't be that bad. Zhao Yun'er's face was full of smiles. Mu Yinfeng lightly tapped the tip of Zhao Yun'er's nose. Of course, in this world, Other than you, Yin, no other woman will catch my eye. Zhao Yun was amused by Mu Lianfeng. This guy had learned how to sweet talk. Then what if the person who came today wasn't Ma Xiaofeng, but a stunning beauty? Would you let her stay for a while longer? Mu Yanfeng's face was stiff as he replied to Zhao Yun seriously. Yin'er, of course not. No matter how beautiful she is, she can't be compared to you, Yin'er. Although Mu Yanfeng was just using his mouth to coax her, Zhao Yin'er felt sweet in her heart. Sure enough, women like to listen to men's sweet talk. Even she was no exception. After Mu Lianfeng finished eating, Zhao didn't go to old Zhao's house again. She would leave the rest to old Zhao's sisters-in-law. She had already completed the task of cooking. In the afternoon, Zhao Yin'er was very sleepy, so she went to bed and slept. He slept all the way until evening. When she got up, she was a little dizzy. She sat on the bed for a long time before she recovered. He hurriedly poured himself a cup of cold water and gulped it down. Only then did he feel much better. Zhao Yin'er went out. When she walked into the courtyard, she saw Mu Lianfeng holding Tian and playing with Daodu in the courtyard. Compared to when she had just transmigrated, she was much happier now. At that time, he didn't have much to eat and had to worry about making money all day long. He also had to look after Daodu, afraid that something would happen to Daodu. Now, she didn't have to worry about these things at all. Yin'er, you're up? Liang Jinxiao greeted when he saw Zhao Yin'er walk out. Yes, Zhao Yin'er responded. Liang Jinxiao walked in front of Zhao Yin'er, took out a red packet from his pocket, and handed it to Zhao Yin. Yin-er, this is from your second aunt. She said that it was a red packet for you to cook today. I didn't want it, but she insisted on giving it to me. Zhao Yin'er was stunned. She opened the red packet and saw that there was one tael of silver inside. Mother, so much. In the countryside, one tael of silver was not a small amount. It was enough to buy a lot of things. Liang Jinxiao sighed and said, yes, your second aunt said that it would cost this much to hire a chef from the town. The chef might not be able to cook as well as you. That's why she gave you so much. Zhao Yun responded and sighed. Li Chuiying was really generous to her. Could it be that Li Chuiying was so stingy in the past? Zhao Yun couldn't help but sigh. Sure enough, people change. Chapter 1872. Zhao Yun directly stuffed the red packet into Liang Jinxiao's hands. Mother, since it's second aunt's good intentions, let's accept it. Take this tael of silver. Liang Jinxiao was a little embarrassed and declined. Yin'er, you should take it. Zhao Yun was a little speechless and said with a serious face, Mother, why are you being so polite with me? Just take it. Liang Jinxiao stared at the red packet in her hand and sighed. Okay, she didn't specially prepare dinner. She brought back a lot of leftovers from the second branch and casually heated them up a few times before eating. The weather was getting hotter and hotter, so she didn't have a good appetite when eating. She had to cook something to go with the rice later. Soon, it was time to harvest rapeseed. Zhao Yun was washing clothes at home when she heard Mulan and Liang Jinxiao chatting. It's going to rain in a few days. Annie, we have to harvest the rapeseed in our field quickly. Otherwise, we'll be done for after the rain. Liang Jinxiao quickly nodded and said, yes, we have to harvest it quickly. We've been busy for a year, and we've only managed to harvest so little. A year's worth of oil will be gone. I've already asked Eru to harvest it. My family didn't plant much. My family planted a little more this year. I have to ask Yin-er's father to work more these few days. After hearing Mulan and Liang Jinxiao's conversation, Zhao Yun couldn't help but feel puzzled. There was no weather forecast in ancient times. How did they know that it would rain in a few days? Sister Mulan, who told you that it's going to rain? I think the weather these few days is very hot. It doesn't look like it's going to rain? Zhao Yun asked curiously. Mulan smiled and replied, I heard it from old man Zhang. His bones can predict the weather. Mulan explained that Mr. Zhang had rheumatism. Whenever it was about to rain, his body would ache. Under normal circumstances, it was very accurate. Therefore, when the villagers heard that old Zhang's father was in pain, they would prepare to harvest the grains. Zhao Yun finally understood. However, compared to modern times, there were indeed many inconveniences. If there was a weather forecast, the prevention would probably be more accurate. After all, there were still many inconveniences for ancient people. Zhao Yun'er felt that the air was slightly better and the pace of life was slightly slower. Everything else was incomparable to the 21st century. Thinking of this hot and dry weather, Zhao Yun'er missed the real air conditioning of the 21st century. Staying here would be too cool. Unfortunately, he couldn't go back after coming here. What she needed to do now was not to lament about the tragedy, but to think of ways to make her life in ancient times better. She could create some things that she didn't have. Hearing Mulan's words, Zhao Yun'er looked forward to the rain in a few days. It hadn't rained since the beginning of summer, and the weather was very hot. If it rained, it could cool down the temperature, and it would be much more comfortable to sleep at night. Mulan chatted for a while and went back. There were still many things to do at home, so she couldn't leave for long. Zhao Yun'er put the wash clothes on the drying pole. After a busy morning, Zhao Wenhua came back tired and sweaty. Liang Jinxiao hurriedly poured a cup of herbal tea for Zhao Wenhua. Zhao Wenhua finished it in a few mouthfuls. Chapter 1873. Zhao Wenhua wiped the beads of sweat off his forehead and pursed his lips. If we rush to harvest, we'll definitely be able to finish harvesting. But we'll have to work a little harder these few days. Yun'er's father, you've worked hard. Liang Jinxiao looked at Zhao Wenhua with a tinge of heartache. Zhao Wenhua hurriedly waved his hand. What's the trouble? It's what I should do. Liang Jinxiao's lips curled into a smile. The happiest thing now was to be together as a family. If everyone worked hard together, their lives would get better and better. These few days, Zhao Yun'er's family was busy working in the fields. Zhao Wenhua went to work early every day and finally harvested all the rapeseed seeds. He removed the seeds and put them into gunny sacks. When he had time, he would directly take them to the oil mill to extract oil. The day before the rain, Li Chueying ran over to the third branch. Looking at Li Chueying's appearance, he seemed to have cried. Liang Jinxiao hurriedly asked, "Second sister-in-law, what's wrong?" Li Chueying sighed. "Sigh, third sister-in-law, can I ask third brother for a favor?" Seeing Li Chueying's worried expression, Liang Jinxiao hurriedly asked, "Second sister-in-law, what kind of favor do you need? What's wrong? Tell me." Li Chueying began to complain. "It's like this. Your second brother refuses to harvest the half-moo of rapeseed seeds that we planted at home. He's too lazy to let them grow maggots at home. Isn't it going to rain soon? If he doesn't harvest them, won't it be a waste of the rapeseed seeds?" Liang Jinxiao nodded when he heard this. "That's true. Why doesn't second brother harvest them? Isn't it a waste to have these seeds at home? Half a moo of rapeseed seeds will produce a lot of oil." Li Chueying sighed and said, "That's right. Half a moo of rapeseed oil is enough for me to eat for a long time. Sigh, that's why I came to ask third brother for help." Liang Jinxiao thought about Li Chueying's vegetable seeds. It would be a pity if he did not take them back. Then she agreed. "Okay, second sister-in-law. I'll talk to Yun'er's father later and ask him to accept it for you." Li Chueying's face was full of guilt. I've really troubled you and third brother. That wretched son of mine is getting lazier and lazier." Liang Jinxiao had some sympathy for Li Chueying. Thinking about Zhao Wenshui, he indeed did not have the sense of responsibility that a man should have. It was a pity that Li Chueying still had to live with Zhao Wenshui. Right now, Li Chueying didn't have the ability or the way to get out alone. Liang Jinxiao patted Li Chueying on the shoulder and said, "Second sister-in-law, it's okay. Take your time. Maybe things will get better in the future." Okay. Li Chueying could only comfort herself like this. The second branch's rapeseed seeds were finally harvested with the third branch's help. They were very lucky that they managed to do it before it rained. The next day, it started to rain heavily. Ever since Zhao Yun'er transmigrated to this world, this was the first time she encountered such heavy rain. The summer rain was indeed very heavy. The workers on the mountain stopped working and didn't continue working. This kind of weather was not suitable for outdoor sports. The originally hot weather cooled down a lot because of the rain. In ancient times, when it rained, people could only stay indoors and not go anywhere. However, It was quite interesting for the family to sit together and chat. The rain continued for 5 days without any signs of stopping. Zhao Wenhua sat in the room and looked at the weather outside worriedly. There was a hint of worry between her brows. Chapter 1874. Looking at the situation, it seemed that the rice seedlings in the field had been covered by the heavy rain for the past few days. If this continued, this year's harvest would definitely not be good. However, the farmers relied on the rice in the field to survive. Without a harvest, many people would starve to death. Zhao Wenhua stared at the heavy rain outside and sighed. Sigh, this rain can't continue. Otherwise, something will happen. Yinner's father, don't worry. If it rains, we can't stop it. Sigh, that's right. I can't help it. I just can't help but worry. Zhao Yinner held Tian Tian in her arms. In fact, she didn't like rainy days very much. The rain always gave people a very depressing feeling. Moreover, the inside and outside of the house were wet, which made people feel uncomfortable. Although the weather was cooler, the next rain would cool down. There was no need to keep raining like this. After a few more days, although the rain was a little lighter, it didn't seem to stop. Zhao Yinner's family was still in shock. A mudslide almost formed on the back mountain and washed away her house. When they chose the foundation, they didn't expect this to happen. Zhao Yinner hurriedly dealt with it with the family. They dug a ditch at the back of the house so that it could drain the water. Otherwise, if they encountered such a situation again, they were afraid that even their lives would be lost. They wouldn't be able to sleep well at night. However, when they dug the ditch, Zhao Yinner, Mu Yinfeng, Zhao Wenhua, and Zhao Tianan were all soaked in the rain. After soaking in the rain for a day, they finally dug the ditch. Their bodies were all cold. Zhao Yinner couldn't stop sneezing. It was obvious that she had caught a cold. Liang Jinxiao hurriedly boiled a large pot of hot water for the family to bathe. After soaking in the hot water, Zhao Yinner's cold body recovered a little bit of warmth. Zhao Yinner couldn't help but sigh at the changeable weather when she thought about how hot it was a few days ago and how she had to wrap herself in a quilt to keep warm these days. He thought that the weather in the 21st century changed quickly, but it turned out that the weather in ancient times was the same. Seeing that Zhao Yinner kept sneezing, Mu Yinfeng felt a little distressed and said, "Yinner, why don't I cook some ginger soup for you? It can warm you up." Zhao Yinner thought about it and felt that it was indeed possible. Other than her, who had to drink some ginger soup to warm her body, everyone else in the house had to drink some too. "All right, then I'll ask Annie to cook it." "All right." After a while, Mu Yinfeng brought a bowl of ginger soup over. Mu Yinfeng walked to Zhao Yinner, picked up a spoon, and handed the ginger soup to Zhao Yinner's mouth. "Come, Yinner, drink it." Zhao Yinner felt that the posture in front of her was a little strange. Was it really okay for Mu Yinfeng to be so considerate? I'll drink it myself." Zhao Yinner's face turned slightly red. "Why don't you let me feed you?" Mu Yinfeng was a little puzzled. Zhao Yinner looked a little embarrassed. "It's too intimate. It's embarrassing if other people see it. I'll do it myself. I'll drink it faster." Mu Yinfeng smiled and handed the bowl to Zhao Yinner helplessly. "Yinner, we'll be husband and wife in the future. So what if other people see it?" Zhao Yinner said with a straight face. "That won't do." "All right, as you wish." Mu Yinfeng looked at Zhao Yinner with eyes full of affection. Chapter 1875. Zhao Yinner sighed and looked out of the window with some melancholy. "Sigh, I don't know when this rain will stop. It's really uncomfortable to be cooped up in the house these days. How nice would it be to go out for a walk?" Mu Yinfeng smiled and said, "Yinner, I think this rain is pretty good. What's so good about it?" Zhao Yinner muttered, as if she didn't agree with Mu Yinfeng's words. Mu Yinfeng explained, "If it hadn't rained, I wouldn't have had so many opportunities to be with you all day long. I'd like to continue enjoying myself like this for a few more days. I like to see you all the time and do what I like with you." When Mu Yinfeng said this, Zhao Yinner's face suddenly turned red. "Do what you like, sigh." Sure enough, men are all perverts. She had been resting at home for the past few days and had nothing to do. At night, Mu Yinfeng tortured her badly. The problem was that this guy didn't have to work during the day and slept well, so he was really energetic at night. Sometimes, this guy wanted to do it more than once. As long as he wasn't asleep, he would always think of ways to do her once. When Zhao Yun woke up the next morning, she couldn't straighten her back and her whole body was sore. This was also the first time she realized that doing this kind of thing was sometimes more tiring for women than men. However, Mu Yinfeng didn't realize it. In Zhao Yun'er's opinion, Mu Yinfeng probably wanted to double the meat that he hadn't eaten for more than 20 years. When faced with such a wolf-like person, Zhao Yun'er could only swallow her grievances. If you continue to be like this, I'm going to be angry with you. Zhao Yun'er glared at Mu Yinfeng and warned him angrily. Mu Yinfeng felt wronged and said, "You know what's wrong? Don't be indecent in front of me." The smile on Mu Yinfeng's face deepened. After being trapped in the house for a few days, her relationship with Mu Yinfeng had improved a lot. Sure enough, time breeds affection. The two of them had to spend more time together. The sky finally cleared up, but there were puddles everywhere outside. It was not easy for people to go out for a walk. Therefore, he had no choice but to wait in the house for a few more days. Only when the road was not so muddy did he walk out. And now it was the Dragon Boat Festival. Dumplings were eaten during the Dragon Boat Festival in both ancient and modern times. As a traditional festival, the villagers would more or less wrap some zongzi to eat. Zhao Yun'er likes to eat meat dumplings and candied dates. Liang Jinxiao likes mung bean dumplings. Well, no matter what kind of dumplings it is, Zhao Yun'er wants to make some. However, to make zongzi, he had to buy some bamboo leaves and glutinous rice. When he was in the countryside, he could harvest some bamboo leaves, but it would be more troublesome. When he was harvesting bamboo leaves, he would cut his hand with zongzi. These things were not expensive, so Zhao Yun'er planned to go to Sun City to buy some. He also had to buy some glutinous rice and red dates. There was still some bacon left at home. It was enough to make zongzi. In addition, it had been raining for almost half a month. The family did not eat any fresh pork. Zhao Yun'er planned to go to town to buy some back so that the family could satisfy their cravings. Mulan was also planning to go to Sun City. Therefore, he and Zhao Yun'er teamed up and rushed Xiaomao to Sun City. After the rain stopped, Sun City returned to its usual bustling state. Zhao Yun'er and Mulan soon found a place that sold bamboo leaves. The two of them sold a few handfuls of bamboo leaves and went to buy some glutinous rice. Chapter 1876. After a round of shopping, the two of them reaped a bountiful harvest. Looking at the big cart full of things, Zhao Yun'er couldn't help but sigh. This woman's fighting ability was too strong. Unknowingly, she could buy a lot of things back. Fortunately, she had money in her hands. If it were the 21st century, her salary wouldn't be enough to spend it all. In her previous life, she couldn't be blamed for not dressing up well. It was difficult for her to eat with her salary. So how could she buy so many clothes and cosmetics? Especially as a police officer, if she encountered a gangster, one of her clothes would be ruined. Sigh, this money can't support spending. Today I bought these things and it's gone. Mulan couldn't help but sigh. Zhao Yun'er patted Mulan's shoulder and said, "You have more motivation to earn money when you spend it. Otherwise, why would you keep such a small amount of money?" Mulan nodded and said, "Yun'er, you're right. I have to earn more money in the future. Otherwise, the family's money won't be enough to spend. Don't worry, I'm here." She was sure that she could lead Mulan's family on the road to riches. When the two of them were packing up and preparing to go back, they suddenly met two women. One of them pointed at Zhao Yun'er and said, "Sister-in-law of the Tian family, look, isn't this the daughter-in-law you broke off the engagement with?" The woman from the Wu clan, who was called the Tian family's sister-in-law, glanced at Zhao Yun'er. Looking at Zhao Yun'er's familiar face, she found that it was indeed her. However, the Wu clan wasn't sure. The Zhao Yun'er in front of her was different from the Zhao Yun'er in her memory. They look alike, but also not alike. My daughter-in-law who broke off the engagement with the Tian family wasn't so beautiful. She wasn't so fair and was even skinnier. Moreover, her family was poor. How could they drive an ox cart here and buy these good things back? After that incident, she asked Tian Wenhan to break off the engagement. Not to mention that Zhao Yun'er's body was defiled, and she gave birth to a child before marriage. If he married such a daughter-in-law, their Tian family would definitely be laughed at. Another reason was that Zhao Yun'er's family was not rich. Before the engagement, Tian Wenhan had not passed the county examination, so the two of them were a good match. Later, when Tian Wenhan passed the county-level examination, he was different from the rest. Old Zhao's family was not worthy of him. If he wanted to find a Tian Wenhan, he could find a better one. The man who accompanied the Wu clan said with a smile, "I don't know whether it's true or not. My great-aunt who married into Shueilon village told me that old Zhao's family is different from before." "What's the difference?" Wu clan asked curiously. "You still don't know, right? All the branches of old Zhao's family have become rich, especially your former in-law's branch. I heard from my great-aunt that her family has built more than a dozen big brick houses. It's very magnificent and unique in the village. Now the family has more money than they can spend." Hearing this, Wu clan opened their mouths. They couldn't digest so much information in a short time. They had become rich and built such a big house. Even in the Tian family's village, few people could do this. They must be very rich. Then they looked at Zhao Yun'er and saw that Zhao Yun'er was wearing an aqua blue dress today. The material of the dress was of the best quality and could not be bought with several taels of silver. Could it be that her previous in-laws had really become rich? Chapter 1877. The Wu clan felt a bit better when the woman didn't say anything. After the woman said that, the Wu clan felt suffocated in their hearts. When Wenhan and Zhao Yun'er broke off their engagement, they thought they could find a better wife. However, after the matchmaker had looked for them a few times, she realized that they were either dissatisfied or had better conditions and looked down on their family. So after searching for so long, they still couldn't find a satisfactory marriage. Their Wenhan still hadn't married. In the village, men of Tian Wenhan's age would have already married and had children. Their children would probably be old enough to buy soy sauce. But after looking around, they still couldn't find one. However, the Wu clan was still unwilling to give up and didn't want to casually find a girl. If that was the case, they wouldn't have broken off their engagement with Zhao Yun'er. Wasn't it because they wanted to find a better wife? Now, seeing that Zhao Yun'er's family had become rich, they seemed to have a lot of money. Then, looking at Zhao Yun'er's donkey cart, there were still a few kilograms of meat. They were all country people. How could they be willing to buy meat to eat? They probably couldn't buy so much meat even during the New Year. If she hadn't stopped them and married Zhao Yun'er, their Tian family could have been like Zhao Yun'er's family, able to eat meat from time to time. Staring at the meat Zhao Yun'er bought, the Wu clan couldn't help but swallow. Unfortunately, it was too late to regret what they had done. Seeing that the Wu clan didn't speak, the woman next to them said, "I say, Tian family's sister-in-law, when Wenhan was engaged to this girl, I heard that she also liked Wenhan very much. Why don't you go and ask again? Bring Wenhan with you. Maybe she hasn't even gotten married yet, but on account of your family's Wenhan, she agreed to marry into your Tian family." Hearing this, the Wu clan's eyes turned. They felt that it was indeed possible. Since Zhao Yun'er was still living with her parents in Shueilon village, there was still a chance. At that time, the Tian family broke off the engagement, and Zhao Yun'er gave birth to a child out of wedlock. With such conditions, it was impossible for her to get married. If she brought her Wenhan to Zhao Yun'er's house to talk about it again, perhaps the girl's family would be deeply grateful. When the time came and she really married into the Tian family, the dowry would definitely be substantial. In the future, the Tian family would naturally be able to live a good life. The more the Wu clan thought about it, the more feasible it seemed. They decided to discuss it with Tian Wenhan when they got back. In the past few years, although her son didn't say it, the Wu clan was well aware of it. As for Zhao Yun'er, her son was also attracted to her. When the engagement was called off, Tian Wenhan had not been able to eat for several days. He was listless every day, and it took him a while to recover. Even if they were to matchmake him, he wouldn't be interested. Obviously, he was still thinking about Zhao Yun'er. If they went back and talked to Tian Wenhan, he would naturally agree. He would probably be very happy. The Wu clan smiled and said to the woman beside them, "Sister-in-law, thank you. I'll give it a try when we get back. Haha, okay. The woman laughed. At this time, Zhao Yun'er and Mulan were chatting and laughing. They didn't realize that they were being schemed against. Xiao Mao was pulling them away, and they hadn't run far. Suddenly, they bumped into her aunt, Zhao Xinhui. Zhao Xinhui couldn't wait at home, so she ran to Yang City to look for young Master Huang. She didn't expect that although she found young Master Huang, she would end up in such a miserable state. Chapter 1878. If she was really young Master Huang's concubine, it would be fine if she behaved herself. After all, there were many concubines in the residence. However, ever since Zhao Xinhui entered the residence, she had been spoiled and arrogant, going against her every day. As the mistress of the household, she was often angered by Zhao Xinhui. How could she tolerate Zhao Xinhui continuing to cause trouble? Driving Zhao Xinhui back to her hometown was the first step of her plan. Then, she schemed against Zhao Xinhui and framed Zhao Xinhui for having an affair with another man, making young Master Huang cuckold. The child in Zhao Xinhui's belly was the result of the adulterer's affair. In the face of evidence, young Master Huang naturally believed in it. As a man, what he couldn't stand the most was his woman making him a cuckold. In the future, he wouldn't be able to raise his head in front of his friends. If this kind of thing were spread, he would lose even more face. Therefore, when Zhao Xinhui came to find him, not only did young Master Huang not allow her to return to the Huang residence, he even had someone beat Zhao Xinhui up. No matter how Zhao Xinhui tried to explain, young Master Huang wouldn't listen. After being taught a lesson, Zhao Xinhui was chased out of the Huang residence. The moment Zhao Xinhui was chased out, she saw the smile of young Master Huang's wife. Unfortunately, she couldn't talk to young Master Huang anymore. When a man doted on you, he could be very doting. He would pour out his heart and lungs for you and would place all the good things in front of you. However, when a man was heartless, it was even scarier. No matter how much you cried, his heart would never soften. After lying in front of the Huang residence for a while, Zhao Xinhui was finally able to get up again. She walked with pain all over her body. Her heart was filled with despair. Looking at the current situation, she wouldn't be able to return to the Huang residence, nor would she be able to enjoy the life there. Now that she was told that she would have to live a hard life in the countryside for the rest of her life, Zhao Xinhui couldn't bear it. It was said that it was easy to go from frugality to extravagance, but difficult to go from extravagance to frugality. Wasn't she in such a situation now? After walking for a while, Zhao Xinhui really couldn't take it anymore. She sat on the ground and cried. His body was already stained with blood. Now that he was sitting on the ground, he looked even dirtier. Zhao Xinhui cried as he wiped his tears. The surrounding people came forward to watch, wondering what had happened. After failing to see Zhao Xinhui, she pointed at Zhao Xinhui and said to Zhao Yun'er, "Yun'er, isn't that your aunt?" Zhao Yun'er took a closer look. It really was her aunt. However, why was Zhao Xinhui in Yang City? Why was he sitting on the ground? Mulan asked in confusion. "Yun'er, what's wrong with your aunt? Did someone bully you?" Zhao Yun'er frowned. "I don't know." Thinking that she was Zhao Yun'er's relative and her aunt, Mulan said worriedly, "Yun'er, why don't we go and take a look? Your aunt seems to be injured. She's crying so hard. She's quite pitiful." Zhao Yun'er thought for a moment and nodded. However, before the two of them got out of the car, a kind-hearted person came forward and asked Zhao Xinhui, "Miss, what's wrong with you? Are you all right?" Faced with the concern of others, Zhao Xinhui didn't know what was good for her and replied, "What does it have to do with you?" The surrounding people couldn't stand it anymore. They pointed at Zhao Xinhui and said, "Miss, isn't it wrong of you to be like this?" He came forward to ask because he was concerned about you. "What kind of attitude is this? How can it be someone like you?" Chapter 1879. Zhao Xinhui's bad attitude aroused the disgust of the onlookers. This is the first time I've met such a person. Good intentions are really not rewarded. Look at the injuries all over her body. I think she deserved it. Someone probably couldn't stand her behavior and gave her a good beating. I think so too. She deserves to be beaten up. It's not too much to beat her to death. Don't go up and pity her just because she's a girl. Some people are just cheap and don't deserve to be pitied. Zhao Xinhui was angered by the discussion around her. She shouted at the top of her voice, "Who are you talking about? Who deserves it? All of you have cheap mouths. Did you not brush your teeth today? Or did you just eat sh*t? Why is it so smelly? Look at this, look at this. How can a girl behave like this? I've never seen such a woman before. Today is the first time I've seen such a woman. It's an eye-opener. This kind of cheap woman needs to be taught a lesson before she'll be honest. She actually said that our mouths are smelly and that we ate sh*t. Yes, yes, yes. Teach her a lesson. Let's see if she can still be stubborn." Thus, the onlookers were too angry. They all went up to Zhao Xinhui and prepared to beat her up. Zhao Xinhui shouted at the top of her voice, "What are you doing? What are you doing? You still want to beat me up? Beating a weak woman like me in broad daylight. Aren't you afraid that I'll report you to the yamen and arrest you?" The onlookers were not to be trifled with. When they heard Zhao Xinhui's words, they became even angrier and scolded Zhao Xinhui. "So what if we beat you up? We beat you up. We're getting rid of evil for the people. We're not afraid, even if the yamen is reported. Yes, if they want to arrest us, they should arrest us one by one. I don't believe that the county magistrate will punish us and not you. You cheap woman. Women with cheap mouths need to be taught a lesson. We're right to beat her up, not wrong. Why don't we dare to beat her up?" After the onlookers shouted a few words, they all showed their fists. Zhao Xinhui stared at these people with some fear. They were actually so bold to beat her up. Don't hit me, don't hit me," Zhao Xinhui screamed. However, how could they let Zhao Xinhui off the hook so easily after enraging the crowd? They threw punches and kicks at Zhao Xinhui. They didn't care whether men hit women or not. They just wanted to hit the *tch Zhao Xinhui. Of course, the woman couldn't stand Zhao Xinhui at all. Just because she was a little beautiful, she acted all high and mighty. She even spoke so harshly. Who did she think she was? Those who had rotten vegetables in their hands threw them at Zhao Xinhui. For a moment, Zhao Xinhui was beaten up very miserably. Zhao Yun'er and Mu Lan watched from the side and were shocked by the scene in front of them. Although they felt that Zhao Xinhui was beaten up very miserably, it was true that Zhao Xinhui was in the wrong first. Her words weren't human, so it was normal for her to anger people. Mulan frowned and looked at Zhao Yun'er. She asked Zhao Yun'er, "Yun'er, should we go and save your aunt? What if he really dies if he keeps fighting like this?" Zhao Yun'er said indifferently, "Sister-in-law Mulan will inevitably be implicated if we show up now. If we anger the crowd, we'll probably be beaten up together." Mulan's heart trembled when she heard Zhao Yun'er's words. After thinking about it, she felt that Zhao Yun'er's words weren't without reason. Chapter 1880. Zhao Xinhui's pitiful cries spread far and wide. However, even under such circumstances, no one stepped forward to protect Zhao Xinhui. Instead, many people came to join the fun and shouted with the crowd, "Beat this *tch to death. Beat this *tch to death." When Zhao Yun'er saw this scene, she couldn't help but shake her head. She suddenly thought of a saying, "If you don't seek death, you won't die." Zhao Xinhui was in this state because she had done too much. This was outside, not old Zhao's house. Old Zhao had Huichenhua to protect and dote on him at home, but he didn't have that outside. She had to bear the consequences of offending people with her rude words. Suddenly, someone rushed over and pushed the crowd aside. He shouted at the crowd, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Don't you feel embarrassed to bully a girl with so many people?" The person who had come was none other than Qin Yuan. Qin Yuan had been about to go back after selling the pig offal when he suddenly heard Zhao Xinhui's cries and came over. He didn't expect to see Zhao Xinhui being bullied. When he saw the wounds on Zhao Xinhui's body, which were still stained with blood, Qin Yuan's heart ached terribly. These people were too much. How could they injure her to this extent? Qin Yuan's eyes turned red, and he had the urge to kill someone. He hurriedly pulled Zhao Xinhui into his arms and protected her tightly. This way, even if the other people's fists and feet came over, they would hit him instead of Zhao Xinhui. The onlookers said indignantly, "What's wrong with hitting her? She deserves to be taught a lesson. I've never seen a woman with such a cheap mouth. We're getting rid of an evil for the people. Everyone, do you think I deserve to be hit?" A group of people behind him echoed, "She deserves to be hit. That B*TCH deserves to be hit to death. Did you hear that? Everyone says she deserves to be hit. Then it's her problem alone." Qin Yuan could not vent his anger. Weren't these people a little too much? They had already beaten her to this extent, yet they still said such things. "You're not allowed to fight anymore. If anyone dares to fight again, I'll chop them up with a knife." Qin Yuan's harsh words shocked the onlookers. It was said that the upright feared the unreasonable, and the unreasonable feared those who didn't care about their lives. Now that Qin Yuan was in such a desperate situation, none of them dared to continue provoking them. He thought that Zhao Xinhui had already beaten him enough. If he continued to beat him, he might even kill him. If the government investigated, it would definitely be troublesome. Why don't we just let go now? It's fine as long as we're out. There's no need to continue harping on it. Thus, the crowd dispersed in an uproar. Let's go. We've seen enough of the show, and taken care of that B*TCH. Yeah, let's go. There's nothing to see here. Although Qin Yuan still wanted to pursue the matter, there was nothing they could do. They could only let these people go. At this moment, he was most worried about Zhao Xinhui in his arms. His nose was filled with the smell of Zhao Xinhui's blood. Qin Yuan's expression suddenly became extremely serious. "Auntie, are you okay? How are you now?" Qin Yuan asked the person in his arms gently. Zhao Xinhui was already feeling aggrieved. Now, she hugged Qin Yuan and cried, "Whoa, it hurts so much. I thought I was going to be beaten to death by these people. They're too much. There were so many of them, but they only bullied me." Zhao Xinhui poured out her grievances. Chapter 1881. Qin Yuan couldn't help but tremble when Zhao Xinhui hugged him tightly. In the past, he really wanted to be intimate with Zhao Xinhui, but he never had the chance. All this time, he could only silently fantasize about hugging Zhao Xinhui like this. He didn't expect that it would really come true today. Zhao Xinhui hugged him tightly. Her face was still pressed against his chest. Qin Yuan felt his heart pounding, much faster than usual. His throat suddenly dried up. Qin Yuan said in a hoarse voice, "Okay, Auntie, don't be afraid. With me around, no one can bully you. I'll protect you well." At this moment, Qin Yuan's male chauvinism exploded. He wanted to protect the woman in his arms and not let anyone bully her. This was a feeling that she had never felt before. Zhao Xinhui continued to whimper. She didn't want to let go of Qin Yuan's hand. "Qin Yuan, thank you for coming to save me. Auntie, it's my duty. Don't stand on ceremony with me. I'm more than happy to do this kind of thing." Qin Yuan replied nervously. He felt very happy, although he was heartbroken that Zhao Xinhui had been beaten up. If no one had beaten Zhao Xinhui up, he wouldn't have had the chance to be a hero and save the damsel in distress. He also wouldn't have been able to hug Zhao Xinhui like this. To him, this was a chance to get closer to Zhao Xinhui. Zhao Xinhui responded. She didn't know if it was because of the trauma she had suffered, but after Qin Yuan saved her, she felt that she had developed some dependence on Qin Yuan. Actually, she had always thought that Qin Yuan was a good person. It was just that he was too poor, so she didn't take a liking to him back then. Now that young Master Huang didn't want her anymore, it wouldn't be easy for her to find a good man. However, she couldn't spend the rest of her life alone either. After being separated from young Master Huang for a while, she still wanted to do that thing in bed. With every man by her side, wouldn't her future happiness be ruined? Therefore, she had to find another man to marry. Since she couldn't find someone with better conditions, she might as well find someone who dotes on her. She could tell that Qin Yuan liked her very much and wanted to be with her even more. The Qin Yuan had no money, but she did save some money from young Master Huang. With this money, her life with the Qin Yuan wouldn't be too bad. The two of them could open a shop and start a small business. They wouldn't have to live in poverty for the rest of their lives. After thinking about this, Zhao Xinhui decided to be together with Qin Yuan. Therefore, she asked in a gentle voice, Qin Yuan, you said that you would take care of me for the rest of your life. Is that true? Qin Yuan choked with sobs and was completely dumbfounded. What did little Ant mean by that? Did she really intend to be with him? He couldn't be so lucky, right? Seeing that Qin Yuan didn't say anything, Zhao Xinhui pursed her lips and said, So you were just saying it casually. It seems that I was thinking too much. Qin Yuan came back to his senses and hurriedly said, No, little Ant, that's not what I meant. I was too happy just now, so I didn't reply to your question. Then tell me now, is what you said true or false? Of course it's true, little Ant. The heavens and earth can bear witness to my sincerity towards you. You mustn't doubt me. Of course I don't doubt you, but you have to remember what you said today. Chapter 1882. He wondered if he was dreaming at this moment. The things that he had always hoped for had never come true. How did it come true today? Only in a dream would this be possible. How can you do this? After Zhao Ping, and Ma Xiaofeng rushed over, they saw the scene of Qin Yuan and Zhao Xinhui hugging each other. Zhao Ping stared at them until she almost went crazy with jealousy. Qin Yuan was her husband, her man. How could he hug Zhao Xinhui like this? Qin Yuan and Zhao Xinhui both ignored Zhao Ping. Zhao Ping, who could not take it anymore and continued to clamor. Zhao Xinhui, you be *tch. How can you seduce my husband? Big brother Yuan is mine. Hurry and let go of him. Zhao Ping was about to rush over and push out Xinhui away from Qin Yuan's embrace. However, before Zhao Ping could get close to Zhao Xinhui, she was stopped by Qin Yuan. Qin Yuan reprimanded Zhao Xinhui. Zhao Ping, what are you doing? You be *tch. Aren't you a little too vicious? You actually want to hurt your aunt. Zhao Ping was frightened by Qin Yuan's murderous gaze. Her original actions also stopped instantly. Zhao Ping looked at Qin Yuan pitifully and said, Big brother Yuan, how can you do this to me? You actually yelled at me for little Ant. You even hugged little Ant like this. You've never treated me like this before. The more Zhao Ping spoke, the more her heart ached. Tears streamed down her face. Qin Yuan said with a cold face, You jealous be *tch. Can't you see that your aunt isn't injured? How can you be so calculative with your aunt? After Qin Yuan said that, Zhao Ping then saw the injuries on Zhao Xinhui's body. It was probably quite serious. Zhao Xinhui's clothes were stained with blood, and her arms were bruised. However, Zhao Ping did not feel sorry for Zhao Xinhui at all. Instead, she was gloating in her heart. Even if her aunt, this be *tch, was beaten to death, it would not be too much. Zhao Xinhui glanced at Zhao Ping indifferently. Her lips curled into a cold smile. Then, her slender hands to Qin Yuan's neck. Qin Yuan hurriedly comforted her. Auntie, bear with it. I'll take you to the doctor and let the doctor treat your wounds. You'll be fine. Zhao Xinhui replied weakly. Okay. Her voice made the man's heart ache even more. He wanted to protect her. Qin Yuan carried Zhao Xinhui in a princess carry. Zhao Ping followed Qin Yuan angrily. Her face was full of undisguised jealousy. However, after being reprimanded by Qin Yuan, she did not dare to make a fuss again. Zhao Yun was stunned by the scene in front of her. Now, it seemed that her aunt was going to get involved with Qin Yuan. Thinking about it, that be *tch, Zhao Ping was pitiful. Although she had finally gotten married, she did not marry a man who liked her, who knew if there would be more trouble in the future. Of course, all of this had nothing to do with her. She did not care whether Zhao Ping was dead or alive. In her heart, Zhao Ping was not a member of her family. After the few people left, Mulan opened her mouth. Yin, what's going on? It's what you saw. Zhao Yun replied with a smile. Chapter 1883. In ancient times, some concepts were still more traditional. For example, Zhao Xinhui and Qin Yuan were one generation apart, so it was naturally impossible for them to be together. If they were really together, people would inevitably say that they were incestuous. At that time, who knew what kind of gossip would come out? Zhao Yun shrugged and replied helplessly, I don't know about that. This is their business, so I can't ask. Mulan sighed and nodded in agreement. Zhao Yun'er was right. How could Zhao Yun meddle in the affairs between her brother-in-law and sister-in-law? There were weirdos every year, but this year's weirdo happened to be Zhao Yun'er's relative. After the two of them finished watching the show, they didn't stay any longer and drove Xiao Mao to Shuilan village. Xiao Mao, who only came out for a walk once in a long time, was unusually cheerful this time, as if it wanted to fly. Even Zhao Yun'er couldn't stop it. Along the way, Zhao Yun'er and Mulan's butts hurt from the bumpy ride, but they couldn't do anything about it. Zhao Yun'er wondered if she should add a soft cushion to the donkey cart when they returned. This way, no matter how hard Xiao Mao ran, it wouldn't be too bumpy when they sat on the donkey cart. After finally returning to Shuilan village, Zhao Yun'er and Mulan hurriedly got off the cart and rubbed their butts as they walked. Zhao Yun'er and Mulan prepared to walk the rest of the way slowly. The mountain road to her house and Mulan's house wasn't very smooth. If Xiao Mao pulled two people, it would probably be very difficult. The two of them simply got off the cart and walked on their own. If Xiao Mao couldn't pull them, they could give it a push from behind. Not long after, they bumped into Madame Qi, who was returning from chopping wood on the mountain. She didn't know if it was because she had been working hard these days, but Madame Qi's skin was yellow, and she had lost a lot of weight. When Madame Qi saw Mulan's complexion, she realized that Mulan had become rounder and looked much better than before. She felt a little uncomfortable in her heart. Madame Qi caught a glimpse of the bamboo leaves and glutinous rice on Zhao Yun'er's donkey cart and said in a jealous tone, "Oh, second sister-in-law, are you preparing to make dumplings?" "Well, it's just for the Dragon Boat Festival. Didn't our family often eat it before? I used to eat white rice dumplings the most. Look at these things you bought. They're quite sumptuous." Sigh. Unlike us this year, I'm afraid we won't even be able to eat rice dumplings. Mulan was momentarily at a loss for words. She didn't know how to respond to the Qi family. What's wrong with making slightly better dumplings? Wasn't it just adding more dates? In the past, his family was poor and could not afford to eat. At most, he could only eat white rice dumplings. But which child didn't want to eat sweet date rice dumplings? Now that he had some money and could afford it, he naturally had to satisfy the children. After all, they didn't eat it often, so it wasn't a waste. Following Zhao Yun'er, Mulan had learned many things, and one of them was to live an exquisite life. Zhao Yun'er couldn't help but roll her eyes at Madame Qi. "Yes, it's because you eat well. Who asked you to be poor? Serves you right for not being able to afford it." Madame Qi's face instantly turned red, and she glared at Zhao Yun'er angrily. "What are you saying? Are you deaf, or did you not hear me? What's the use of being jealous of others? If you want to eat well, then work hard to earn money to buy it." Zhao Yun'er said lightly and continued to ridicule. Chapter 1884. Madame Qi gritted her teeth and secretly scolded Zhao Yun'er for being a slut. Zhao Yun'er restrained a smile on her lips. It felt good to scold a slut. Seeing Madame Qi angry but unable to say anything, it really made people want to laugh. Madame Qi put away the displeasure on her face. Although she felt uncomfortable, she still swallowed her anger. Mulan smiled and said, "Sister-in-law, Yun'er is right. As long as you work hard and earn money, you can buy whatever you want to eat." Madame Qi pursed her lips and said with a bitter face, "Hee, I think it's better to forget it. I don't have such a good life. How can it be so easy to earn money? Unlike second sister-in-law who follows behind Zhao Yun'er." "You're wrong. Sister-in-law Mulan can earn money by following me. Didn't I find ways to earn myself? But what you said seems to be right. Not everyone's hard work will be rewarded. Some people are just stupid and can't think of ways to earn money. What's the use of hard work?" Madame Qi frowned and digested Zhao Yun'er's words. After a while, she reacted. This slut was actually calling her stupid. Zhao Yun'er, who are you scolding? Did I mention names and scold anyone? Family Zhu's sister-in-law, why are you so agitated? Don't tell me you admit that you're stupid? Zhao Yun'er asked with a faint smile. Madame Qi felt that she had been tricked by Zhao Yun'er. Sure enough, she couldn't win against Zhao Yun'er. This woman was too scheming. If she wasn't careful, it was easy to be tricked. Sister-in-law, if there's nothing else, we'll leave first. Mulan didn't want to continue arguing with Madame Qi and cause any unpleasant things. She was very clear about her sister-in-law's temperament. She liked to haggle over every little thing and liked to cause trouble. Qi was not reconciled and continued to say to Mulan, second sister-in-law, I don't have a purse for white rice dumplings at home this year. You should send some dumplings to our mother later, right? An old man like him should at least eat a little. Otherwise, you're being unfilial. Even if we split up, mother still gave birth to second brother and raised him. You can't forget that. Madame Qi's words sounded reasonable. In ancient times, filial piety was the most important thing. If one ignored both the son and the mother, one would be criticized. Although Mrs. Zhu's previous behavior was a bit excessive, she was still Zhu Er's mother. Unless she did something extremely excessive and caused everyone's dissatisfaction, there would be some gossip. Mulan thought for a moment and replied, Got it. Only then did Madame Qi leave with satisfaction. She thought that she could eat some of the zongzi that Mulan sent to Mrs. Zhu later. At the thought of the sweet taste of the sweet date zongzi, Madame Qi couldn't help but swallow her saliva. She couldn't wait for Mulan to immediately wrap them up and send them to her. However, Mulan also had a little idea. She could send them, but no one could dictate what kind of zongzi she should send or how many zongzi she should send. As long as she sent some zongzi over, she could shut people up. Later, she would directly send 5 white rice dumplings. Including Madame Qi's children, it was estimated that Madame Qi wouldn't be able to eat them. With Mrs. Zhu's temperament, at most, she would give one to Zhu Dainiu and the rest to herself and Zhu Sanlu. How could Madame Qi get any? Seeing Mulan's straightforward answer, Zhao Yun'er knew that Mulan must have her own calculations and plans. Now that Mulan was with her, she had more and more ideas. Chapter 1885. Zhao Yun'er shrugged and replied, It's fine. Mulan's lips curled into a bitter smile. Although there were still some people who were sick of Family Zhu, their family's life had become better ever since they moved out of Family Zhu's house. Now that there was no Family Zhu's nagging, the house was much quieter. After Zhao Yun'er and Mulan returned home, they soaked the bamboo leaves and glutinous rice in water. The bamboo leaves had to be washed gently with a brush. As for the glutinous rice, it had to be soaked for a period of time before the zongzi would taste good. Using this time, Zhao Yun'er also took out some bacon from home and cut it into small pieces. When the time came, she just had to put a piece into each zongzi. This was her favorite, the bacon zongzi. Other than that, she also made some candied dates and mung beans. Because it was almost the Dragon Boat Festival, old Madame Liang was in a good mood. Although her legs were a little inconvenient now, she knew how to do these small chores. Wrapping zongzi was old Madame Liang's specialty. For so many years, every year when the Liang family celebrated the Dragon Boat Festival, they would eat zongzi through old Madame Liang's handbag. After coming to Zhao Yun'er's house, old Madame Liang's daily life was well taken care of by Zhao Yun'er's family. There were many chores that old Madame Liang didn't have the chance to do even if she wanted to. Now that she finally had a chance to be useful, old Madame Liang was eager to give a try. Eldest girl, I have to make a few zongzi today. Don't stop me. This isn't hard work. I could do tiring work. Old Madame Liang said with a straight face. It seemed that if Liang Jinxiao refused, old Madame Liang would get angry with her. Liang Jinxiao smiled helplessly and said, Okay, mother, let's make these zongzi as a family. Old Madame Liang nodded in satisfaction. That's more like it. At noon, the whole family had a simple meal. The food was not bad. Zhao Yun'er made streaky pork. The whole family ate one more bowl of rice than usual. Zhao Tian'an didn't know if it was because he was growing, so he liked to eat oil. He directly poured the oil from the bottom of the pork belly bowl into the bowl, mixed it into the rice, and then ate it with relish. Zhao Yun'er was used to living in the 21st century. She preferred to eat rapeseed oil rather than animal oil. Eating too much animal oil could easily lead to high blood lipids. In the eyes of modern people, it was better to eat less. But for the ancient people, they didn't consume much oil and water on a daily basis, and they did very tiring work every day. If they didn't eat some animal oil, they wouldn't seem very energetic. Zhao Wenhua also liked to eat animal fat, but she gave the fat in the pork belly bowl to Zhao Tianan. After the meal, the glutinous rice was almost done soaking. It was time to prepare the dumplings. At this time, someone came to Zhao Yun'er's house. Third sister-in-law, are you at home? It was Zhao Yun'er's uncle, Zhao Ping, who was a few generations away. Liang Jinxiao hurriedly responded, yes. Liang Jinxiao said and went out of the house. Zhao Yun'er followed him out. What's wrong? Liang Jinxiao asked, thinking that Zhao Ping came to see him for something. Zhao Ping explained, third sister-in-law, last time you told me that you wanted to raise a cat. My cat gave birth to a litter of kittens more than half a month ago. Now I caught one for you. Zhao Ping said and handed the kitten in his hand to Liang Jinxiao. Chapter 1886. It looked very small and pitiful. Liang Jinxiao stared at the kitten in Zhao Ping's hand, then took it. Uncle Yun'er, isn't your kitten a little too small? Why don't you keep it home for a while before sending it to me? Liang Jinxiao asked worriedly. Zhao Ping sighed and said, I'm just afraid that I won't be able to keep it alive even if I bring it home. Liang Jinxiao asked in confusion, why is that? Why can't you keep it alive? Zhao Ping then explained, my cats have a lot of litters. There are 7 or 8 kittens. Unfortunately, there's not enough milk, so each kitten can't eat their fill. The kitten I picked for you is the fattest one. The other kittens are even skinnier. If you feed it some soup from time to time, it'll probably be able to keep it alive. Hearing Zhao Ping's words, Liang Jinxiao finally understood. She muttered, so that's how it is. Then I'll keep it. Staring at the thin and small kitten, Liang Jinxiao sighed and said, it looks really pitiful. It's so cute. It's a pity that it's dead. Although it was just an animal, it was still alive after all. When Zhao Yun'er saw the thin and small kitten, she hurriedly went up to Liang Jinxiao and said to Liang Jinxiao, Mother, let me hold it. Liang Jinxiao nodded and stuffed the kitten into Zhao Yun'er's hands. Yun'er, slow down. Don't drop it. Zhao Yun'er answered solemnly, Mother, I know. Zhao Yun'er's hand gently stroked the kitten's head a few times. The kitten burrowed into Zhao Yun'er's palm, and a ticklish feeling spread all over its body. However, its soft and smooth body made people want to play with it a few more times. It was so cute. It was just that it was a little small, so he had to be very careful when holding it in his hands, afraid that he would drop it. Uncle Zhao, thank you. Zhao Yun'er thanked Zhao Ping while stroking the kitten. Zhao Ping smiled. Why are you being so polite? If your family didn't want them, I would still be worried about how to give these kittens away. He couldn't just throw them away, could he? After all, it's a life. Zhao Yun'er agreed with this point. Uncle Zhao, why don't you come to my house and have a rest and drink a glass of water? Zhao Yun'er greeted him warmly. Zhao Ping hurriedly waved his hand and refused. No, you still have work to do. Liang Jinxiao said, other than making some dumplings in the afternoon, we don't have much to do. By the way, Uncle Yun'er, have you made dumplings at home? Zhao Ping scratched his head and replied shyly, I'm a man. How would I know how to do those things? Liang Jinxiao thought about it and agreed. Zhao Ping hadn't married yet. Without a woman at home, there were many things that he couldn't do. A man couldn't possibly do all the women's work. That's true, Uncle Yun'er. You've had a hard time living alone all these years. Zhao Ping smiled foolishly again. It's okay. I'll get used to it. Uncle Zhao, it's okay if you don't know how to make dumplings. I'll send some to you later. Have a taste. I have a lot of dumplings at home this time. Zhao Ping was a little embarrassed and hurriedly waved his hand to refuse. No, forget it. It's so embarrassing. It's not easy for you to make dumplings. There's so many people at home. How can you give them to me? Chapter 1887. This, Zhao Ping was still struggling. Zhao Yuner said, Uncle Zhao, your cat is not free. What's wrong with eating some dumplings? Otherwise, I'll feel bad. After being persuaded by Zhao Yuner and her mother, Zhao Ping smiled embarrassedly and said, Okay, I'll try it then. Okay. After sending the kitten over, Zhao Ping didn't stay any longer. He turned and left Zhao Yuner's yard. After seeing Zhao Ping leave, Liang Jinxiao couldn't help but sigh and say, Yuner, your uncle Zhao is actually quite a nice person. Zhao Yuner agreed and said, Yes. Compared to old Zhao's uncles, Zhao Ping was definitely very nice. He's such a nice person, but he hasn't married yet. It's not easy for a man to live like this. Not to mention other things, if he marries a woman, she can at least cook for him and wash his clothes. He doesn't need to do these chores. Zhao Yuner thought about it. It was because this era was the same as the 21st century. For people who were too poor, it was very difficult to even get a wife. Sometimes, men were really nice. It was because of these external material conditions that they were bound, so they were always single. Mother, why don't you help to ask around? If there's a suitable person, you can introduce Uncle Zhao to her. Zhao Yuner winked at Liang Jinxiao and asked. Liang Jinxiao smiled bitterly and said, Hey, it's easier said than done. Which young girl is willing to marry your Uncle Zhao? The age gap is there. Mother, who said that it has to be a young girl? Can't you ask me to look at those divorced women or widows? Isn't that equivalent to a second marriage? In the countryside, it's counted. Who said that a woman can't marry a second time? If she meets the right person, she can marry again. As long as the man is good to her and she has a good life, why think so much? Liang Jinxiao was silent for a while and said, Okay, I'll ask someone later. If they really met someone suitable, it would be best if they could get together and live together. It's not easy for your Uncle Zhao to be alone. Now that he's getting older, it's better to have a companion. Yes. After the mother and daughter finished talking about this matter, they started to care about the kitten. Looking at that skinny kitten, she had to give it more food. Otherwise, it might not be able to grow up. Unfortunately, the half-month-old kitten's teeth probably hadn't grown out yet, so it couldn't eat those hard things. Zhao Yuner pondered for a moment, then went to the kitchen and made some rice soup. Zhao Yuner thought that the salty rice soup was too plain, so she added some leftover meat broth from lunch into the rice soup. Then, he took a small bowl and brought it to the kitten. The kitten seemed to have smelled something. It dragged its thin body to the front of the bowl and began to drink the rice soup in the bowl. Perhaps it was because it was too hungry. The kitten ate very happily and hurriedly. Seeing this situation, Zhao Yuner's heart ached even more. Speaking of which, these pets in ancient times were not as good as in the 21st century. Those cats and dogs in the 21st century could be treated like ancestors, and they would even buy cat food and dog food. Chapter 1888. However, Zhao Ping's female cat was pregnant. After giving birth to kittens, she had to take care of the kittens. How could she have so much time to go out and look for food? Without enough nutrition during pregnancy, there was naturally not much milk. In addition, there were many kittens in one litter, so there was even less milk for each kitten. As a result, these kittens did not have enough milk and were all very skinny. Eat slowly, eat slowly. No one is fighting with you. Zhao Yun did not care if the kitten understood or not. She gently stroked the kitten's head with her finger. It's probably too hungry, Liang Jinxiao said. Yes, we have to feed it on time every day. Let it eat until it's full. I hope it can survive. Yes, when it's a little older, it can eat food. Then it'll be easier to raise it. The mother and daughter stared at the kitten. Zhao Yuner was afraid that it would eat too much and die. Seeing that it was enough, she hurriedly took the bowl away. The kitten looked as if it had not had enough and kept licking its mouth with its tongue. It's so pitiful. Zhao Yun held it in her hands and stroked it. At this time, Dao Du and Zhao Qianfu came back from playing outside. Together with them was Xiao He, who had gone out to play with the two children. Xiaohei had a garland in its mouth. It was probably made by Daodu or Zhao Tianfu. As soon as he saw the kitten in Zhao Yun'er's hands, Daodu immediately came over. Mother, what is this? A kitten? Yes, it is. Mother, this kitten is really, really small. Of course, Zhao Yun replied. The kitten is only half a month old. It will take a few months to grow up. Daodu nodded as if he understood. Then, he looked at Zhao Yun pleadingly. Mother, can Daodu hold it for a while? Yes, but you have to be careful. Don't drop it. Mother, Daodu will definitely be careful. As he spoke, Daodu carefully took the kitten from Zhao Yun'er's hands and stroked the kitten's head a few times. The kitten rubbed its head against Lil P's small hand after a few times. Daodu pointed at the kitten in surprise. Mother, it's moving. Zhao Yun'er didn't know whether to laugh or cry. He's alive, of course he can move. Do you think he's a toy? Daodu's little face was filled with a pure smile. I thought it was asleep. Its eyes are closed. Zhao Yun'er explained patiently. He's not forcing himself because he's asleep, but because he can't open his eyes now. After a while, he'll naturally open his eyes. Daodu asked in surprise, Mother, is that true? Yes, Daodu was like this when he was young too. When he was born, he couldn't open his eyes either. He only opened them later. Daodu's eyes turned, and he sighed. Ah, Mother, Daodu doesn't remember any of this. Of course he didn't remember. How could such a young child have any memory? Daodu stared at the kitten in his hands for a while, then asked Zhao Yun'er, Mother, should we give the kitten a name too? Even Blackie has a name. We should give the kitten one too. Chapter 1889. Daodu was more than happy to complete this task, and a bright smile was plastered on his little face. He replied, Okay. Mother, is it a boy or a girl? Before choosing a name, Daodu first asked about the gender. Only after determining the gender could they choose a name that was more appropriate. Zhao Yun'er glanced down at the kitten and then replied to Daodu, It's a girl. Daodu stared at Zhao Yun'er in surprise and asked, Mother, how can you tell if it's a boy or a girl just by looking at it? How can you tell? This. Zhao didn't know how to explain it to Daodu. Come to think of it, it really was a dirty thing. This little thing was similar to a human, so it could be differentiated based on the person. Male cats would grow a little penis, while female cats wouldn't. Could it be that she was going to educate a 3-year-old child about sex? What's wrong, Mother? Daodu blinked his big eyes and asked. Zhao Yun smiled and patted Daodu's head. Yes, Daodu will understand when he grows up. Really? Yes, yes. Daodu thought for a while and didn't pursue the topic any further. Instead, he thought about what name to give the kitten. Mother, look at the fur on its body. It's a flower. Why don't we call it Little Flower? Zhao Yun was amused by this name. It was really arbitrary. Just like Little Black, it was named according to its fur. There was no need to be so particular about it. However, there was a good saying, the more vulgar, the more elegant. Although the name was a little simple, it was very suitable for the kitten. It was easy to remember. Okay, we'll call it Little Flower, just like Daodu. Daodu's big eyes blinked a few times. Mother, really? Of course. Daodu had a satisfied smile on his face. He hugged the kitten in his arms and shouted, Little Flower, your name is Little Flower from now on. Do you want to remember? The kitten didn't respond, but it rubbed its head against Daodu's palm a few times. Mother, look, Little Blossom seems to like this name too. Yeah, Mother, why don't we build a nest for it? Zhao Yun'er thought about it and felt that it was indeed necessary. This kitten cub was too small, so he had to take good care of it. Otherwise, he didn't know if there would be any accidents and he couldn't raise it. Like a flower in a greenhouse, it must be taken good care of. All right, Zhao Yun'er said and took out a small wooden basin. She put some straw in the small wooden basin and then put a piece of rag in it. The wooden basin became very soft. Daodu carefully placed Little Blossom in the wooden basin. Mother, Little Blossom looks so cute. Daodu hid in the wooden basin. He couldn't bear to look away from Little Blossom. Little Black put down the garland in his hand and walked over to the wooden basin. Little Black was probably curious about this new species. He stretched his nose and sniffed. Dowdu patted Little Black's head and said, "Little Black, you can't hurt Little Blossom. You're the older brother. You have to take good care of your sister, okay? Just like how I take care of little sister Xiao Xiao." Little Black seemed to understand Dowdu's words. He lowered his head and whimpered a few times. Chapter 1890. When Zhao Yun saw this scene, she wanted to laugh. It was the same as what parents would say to their older child when they had a second child in the 21st century. Dowdu was only 3 years old, yet he could say something like this. His little head must be extremely smart, right? When Little Hay heard Dowdu's words, he licked Dowdu's little finger and whimpered a few times. Hee hee. In the future, Little Blossom will accompany Little Hay. You guys will be very happy together. Dowdu laughed. Zhao Yun thought that under normal circumstances, cats and dogs wouldn't get along well, but there were exceptions. In the future, she would raise both dogs and cats at home. She hoped that the cats and dogs would get along well, so that they wouldn't cause trouble. Okay, Dowdu, let Little Blossom sleep for a while. She needs to rest. Zhao Yun reminded. Okay, mother, Dowdu replied sweetly. When she saw Dowdu playing outside, Zhao Yun came back with a basin of cold water. She washed Dowdu's hands first. Touching animals like kittens and puppies was the easiest way to breed bacteria. Children also liked to put their hands in their mouths. In the afternoon, Zhao Yun began to make zongzi with her family. Making zongzi wasn't Zhao Yun's specialty. When she was in the 21st century, her mother usually made zongzi well. Every time the Dragon Boat Festival came, the zongzi at home couldn't be finished. Other than the zongzi made by their own family, their relatives would also give them some. Therefore, she didn't need to spend time making zongzi. Compared to the big zongzi leaves that she bought in the 21st century, the ones that Zhao Yun bought this time were much smaller. Zhao Yun saw old Madame Liang skillfully stack 2 leaves together, then bend them into an arc and stuff the glutinous rice inside. Zhao Yun copied old Madame Liang's way of wrapping zongzi. Although she could also wrap zongzi, her zongzi was a bit ugly compared to old Madame Liang. She definitely couldn't give the food away. She would keep it for herself because she really couldn't afford to give it away. The candied dates and salted meat zongzi were separated. Zhao Yun tied a red string to make a mark. Later, she would eat salted meat dumplings. As for the other dumplings, they could eat whatever they liked. After a while, Zhao Yun's basket was filled with zongzi. Zhao Yun counted there are really a lot of bags. There are more than 200. Although it was a little small, it was still quite a lot. He had to send 20 over to Zhao Ping to let him have a taste. Previously, Liang Jinxiao and Zhao Wenhua had discussed with her about sending some to Zhao Baoshan and Hua Chunhua. Although they had separated from the family, Zhao Baoshan and Hua Chunhua were still Zhao Wenhua's parents. They should be filial to them during the new year. As for her uncles, she was going to send some to the 2nd and 4th branches, but she had already sent some to the other branches. It wasn't good to leave out the 1st branch, so she might as well send some to everyone. However, she couldn't send too many. At most, each branch could only send 15. There were only about 100 zongzi left. With so many people in the family, they could probably finish it. Zongzi weren't like other things. They could be preserved for a period of time without spoiling. Unlike other things, they would definitely spoil after being left for so many days. With the 3 of us, it didn't take us long to finish wrapping more than 200 zongzi. Old Madame Liang laughed with a satisfied smile on her face. Zhao Yun flattered. Grandma is still the best. You made so many by yourself, and you made the most beautiful ones. Chapter 1891. Old Madame Liang was very happy with Zhao Yun's flattery. She smiled at Zhao Yun and said, "You girl, it's easy to make people happy with your words. It's just making zongzi. Grandma is not as good as you say. You almost praised me to the heavens." Looking at the smile on old Madame Liang's face, Zhao Yun was very satisfied. "Grandma, let's go cook zongzi." Okay. Zhao Yun moved these zongzi to the kitchen and boiled water in a big pot. Now that there was a lot of wood in the house, a pile of firewood in the kitchen, a pot of water boiled in a short time. The zongzi were cooked in the pot for more than 10 minutes. She quickly scooped them up and continued to cook the rest. After cooking a total of 3 zongzi, 200 zongzi were cooked. Mother, it smells so good. Dowdu smelled the fragrance of a zongzi and couldn't wait to get close to Zhao Yun wanted to eat one. Speaking of which, Dowdu hasn't eaten zongzi since he was old. Before, when the original owner took Dowdu, the family was too poor to buy glutinous rice to make zongzi. Now that her soul crossed over, the days slowly got better. This year's Dragon Boat Festival, she still had money to buy glutinous rice to make zongzi. Zhao Yun smiled, took out a zongzi, and soaked it in cold water. She was afraid that it would be too hot and burned out his mouth. Waiting for the zongzi to cool down, Zhao Yun gently peeled off the zongzi leaves. A fragrant smell of zongzi leaves drilled into Zhao Yun's nostrils. The fragrance of zongzi was mixed with the fragrance of bacon. Just smelling this smell, people couldn't help but swallow a few mouthfuls of saliva into their stomachs. They were really hungry. It really smells so good. Dowdu's eyes stared at the zongzi in Zhao Yun's hand. He couldn't wait to eat it immediately. Zhao Yun wanted to laugh, but she felt that Dowdu's life was too pitiful. This child had suffered a lot with the original owner. Come on, it's time to eat. Be careful, don't choke. Zhao Yun warned. Yes, yes. Dowdu held the dumplings and started eating. However, her mouth was not as big as a rice dumpling, so when she ate, her whole mouth was covered in glutinous rice. Dowdu, on the other hand, didn't feel uncomfortable at all. He continued to spoil the dumplings and nibble on them while praising them in satisfaction. Mother, it's so delicious. No wonder so many people like to eat zongzi. It turns out that zongzi are really delicious. Soon, Dowdu finished a dumpling. Zhao Yun asked, have you had enough? Do you want another one? Dowdu nodded shyly. Yes, I want more. Okay, then I'll peel another one for you. Zhao Yun took out another one without hesitation. Seeing Dowdu eat with satisfaction, the smile on Zhao Yun's face became more and more blissful. However, she was afraid that Dowdu's stomach would be too full, so Zhao Yun only gave him 2 to eat. Dowdu licked his small hands as if he still hadn't had enough. After all the zongzi were cooked, Zhao Yun called the family to eat as well. Although zongzi weren't very delicious, they always gave people a very strange feeling. Perhaps in addition to being a delicacy, it represented the meaning of the Dragon Boat Festival. Zhao Yun ate 3 in one go. She was afraid that if she ate too much, she wouldn't be able to eat at night, so she deliberately restrained herself. Zhao Wenhua, on the other hand, had a big appetite. She ate 8 in one go and didn't feel full. Chapter 1892. After being reminded by Liang Jinxiao, Zhao Wenhua realized that he had eaten 8 dumplings in one go. Zhao Wenhua smiled bitterly. He looked very shy and embarrassed. He felt that he had eaten too much in one go. Well, Yin'er's mother, I've never eaten such delicious dumplings in all my decades of life. I've eaten 8 of them before I knew it. Liang Jinxiao was amused by Zhao Wenhua, but he agreed with Zhao Wenhua's words very much. She also felt that these were the best dumplings she had eaten in decades. The glutinous rice was fresh and of the best quality, unlike the old glutinous rice they used to make dumplings. Moreover, they only used white rice to make dumplings before. They didn't use bacon today, so the taste was naturally different. It's fine. It's fine if you eat more. I'm just afraid that your stomach will swell. Zhao Wenhua touched his stomach and smiled. He replied, okay, then I won't eat any more. If I eat more, I might really swell. Okay, Liang Jinxiao replied. When Zhao Yun was about to send the dumplings to old Zhao's house, Mu Yinfeng and Mo Yin came down from the mountain. As soon as Mo Yin walked into Zhao Yun's house, he took a deep breath. Wow, it smells so good. It's the smell of dumplings. When he was at home, his parents would make dumplings for him every year during the Dragon Boat Festival. This year, he had a mission and couldn't go out, so he didn't get to eat dumplings. As soon as he smelled the familiar fragrance, Mo Yin thought of his parents. He couldn't help but feel sad. With his parents around, he didn't travel far. Although he wanted to be with his parents often, sometimes it was not something he could hope for. It smells so good. Mu Lianfeng also responded. He knew that Zhao Yun'er's house was making dumplings today, so he knew that the dumplings must have been cooked when he smelled the familiar fragrance. He didn't expect to be able to eat dumplings as soon as he came down the mountain. "You're back. Let my mother make some zongzi for you. There are many in the kitchen," Zhao Yun'er said with a smile. And Mo Yin answered eagerly, "Okay, thank you, madam. Madam treats me the best." Zhao Yun, who became rather happy from Mo Yan's words. "You guys eat. I still have something to do, so I'll leave first." "Yes, madam." Zhao Yun'er went to Zhao Ping's house first with a basket of zongzi. After delivering the zongzi, she went to old Zhao's house. After wandering around Zhao Ping's house, Zhao Yun'er couldn't help but sigh. It turned out that when one was poor, one could really be poor to a certain extent. Zhao Ping's house was almost the same as her previous thatched hut. There were many places where the wind leaked out. Because he was a man, Zhao Ping didn't know how to tidy up the house, so the house was a mess. It really wasn't easy for a man to live without a wife. When Zhao Yun arrived at old Zhao's house, she found that old Zhao's house was noisy again. But this time, it was because of Zhao Xinhui. Zhao Xinhui was injured and was saved by Qin Yuan. He went to the medical center to have his injuries checked. The doctor prescribed some medicine. As long as he took the medicine according to the requirements and rested for a while, he would be fine. But because he was seriously injured, he had to lie in bed for at least half a month to a month. Chapter 1893. What Chunhua yelled at the top of her lungs, cursing incessantly in the courtyard. "Which black-hearted bastard actually dared to lay his hands on my Hui? This old woman curses all 18 generations of his ancestors to have a son without a D*CK. That wretched bastard is so heavy-handed. Aren't they afraid that someone will die? My precious daughter, nothing can happen to you. Mother only has one daughter. If anything happens to you, Mother won't want to live anymore." Hua Chunhua's behavior could be said to be extremely exaggerated. Zhao Xinhui glanced indifferently at Hua Chunhua and said unhappily, "Mother, can you stop yelling? Are you afraid that our neighbors won't come over to join the fun?" Only then did Hua Chunhua lower her voice resentfully, but she still continued to ask, "Huir, tell Mother, what's wrong with you? Didn't you go to look for young Master Huang today? Why did you come back with injuries all over your body?" Speaking of this topic, Zhao Xinhui didn't know how to tell Hua Chunhua, especially in front of so many people. If her mother knew that young Master Huang had abandoned her and that she could no longer live a good life, she would probably yell at the top of her lungs again and spread the news to everyone. She couldn't afford to lose face like this. "Mother, don't ask about this matter. I'll tell you later." Hua Chunhua was even more curious. "Huir, what's so hard to say? If you don't say it now, Mother will be worried to death. In any case, you should tell Mother who injured you so badly, so that Mother can go and settle the score, right? Looking at your injuries, I'll have to extort at least 10 taels of silver back. Otherwise, we can't just let this go for nothing, right?" Before Zhao Xinhui could speak, Zhao Ping snorted coldly. "Grandmother, I'm afraid you won't be able to settle the score with them." Hua Chunhua frowned. "I say, Ping, girl, what do you mean by that?" "Grandmother, that's because you don't know why younger aunt was injured." "I know, I saw it today." Hua Chunhua pressed. "Girl, can you speak faster? Why do you have to make me anxious? You'll only be happy if you say a few sentences in one sentence." Zhao Ping's temper instantly, but she took pleasure in Zhao Xinhui's misfortune. She said in a mocking tone, "Grandmother, you can't blame anyone else for this matter. It's younger aunt's fault. It's all younger aunt's. She caused a ruckus on the streets today and even scolded someone. He just couldn't stand her, so he took action to teach her a lesson. There's so many people on the street. Who knows whose fist landed on little aunt's body? It's not like he's from our village. Where are you going to find him?" Her of her Chunhua. Was of her of hers of her her sessivs. She's her she. didn't even know who the culprit was. How was she supposed to find a culprit? It seemed that Zhao Xinhui was really suffering in silence this time. She could only bear this grievance in vain. After Zhao Ping finished speaking, Zhao Xinhui was instantly unhappy. She pointed at Zhao Ping and scolded, "Ping girl, what do you mean by that? Are you asking for a lesson with your cheap mouth? Did I allow you to speak? You're up to no good. I think you can't wait for me to get injured, right?" Zhao Ping pursed her lips. "Younger aunt, I'm telling the truth. Even if I don't say it today, it'll spread to the village tomorrow. Grandmother will definitely know anyway. There were so many people in town at that time. There were also people in our village." After hearing Zhao Ping's words, Zhao Xinhui's eyes reddened even more. Chapter 1894. If she was really seen by the people in the village, there would be rumors of her being ridiculed. How could she continue to stay in Shui Lan village? "Zhao Ping, why you better not go overboard," Zhao Xinhui warned through gritted teeth. When Qin Yuan saw Zhao Xinhui's anger, he immediately stood up and walked over to Zhao Ping. He gave Zhao Yun a few tight slaps. "You be *tch, didn't you hear what your aunt said? You don't have a good memory and only know how to spout nonsense. I think you need to be taught a lesson." Zhao Ping's face instantly turned red and swollen. She was completely stupefied. Big brother Yuan actually hit her, and hit her so hard. It was all for that *tch Zhao Xinhui. Zhao Ping's eyes were filled with tears. She felt very wronged. Qin Yuan was clearly her husband, but he was protecting Zhao Xinhui, making her seem like an outsider. Big brother Yuan. Whoa. Zhao Ping started sobbing. However, Qin Yuan did not feel sorry for Zhao Ping at all. He warned her, "Stupid *tch, if you make your aunt unhappy again, see how I'll continue to teach you a lesson." Zhao Ping was frightened by Qin Yuan. Although she was unwilling, because she loved Qin Yuan in her heart, she still bit her lower lip and responded, "I got it." Qin Yuan then said to Zhao Xinhui obsequiously, "Aunt, look, I'll teach that stupid *tch Zhao Ping a lesson for you. You have to recuperate properly now. Don't be bullied. Otherwise, your body won't be able to take it." "Okay." Zhao Xinhui glanced at the red marks on Zhao Ping's face and felt much better. Qin Yuan was still the best. He taught Zhao Ping a lesson, and Zhao Ping did not even dare to make a sound. However, Hu Chunhua continued to nag. It's over. What should we do?" "Little Hui, aren't you just being bullied for no reason? I think we should tell young Master Huang about this matter and let him bring you back to the manor. You definitely won't be able to recuperate well at home, right? The Huang Manor's conditions are good. They'll definitely serve you well." Zhao Xinhui got angry at the mention of this. She felt that Hu Chunhua was poking her wound. However, after she said it, Hu Chunhua still nagged her again. "Mother Zhao Xinhui's. Zhao Xin is as mother's. Xinhui Zhao's way." Zhao Xinhui said unhappily, "At most, I'll move out today. Whether I live or die has nothing to do with you." Hu Chunhua was stunned. She hurriedly said, "Little Hui, don't misunderstand me. That's not what I meant." "Then what do you mean?" Zhao Xinhui, I just want you to live a better life. It's not a good idea for you to live a hard life at home. Look, you're covered in injuries. If young Master Huang sees you like this, he'll definitely feel sorry for you. Maybe he'll soften his heart and bring you back to the Huang Manor. It's already been a while. The limelight is definitely over. Young Master Huang won't have any problems bringing you back, right? Zhao Xinhui smiled bitterly. She had already been chased out by young Master Huang. Young Master Huang had also put in a lot of effort to heal her injuries. Wouldn't it be a fool's dream if she wanted to go back to the Huang Manor? Fortunately, the child in her belly was fine. She only hoped they would be born. In the future, she might even have to do a blood test to make young Master Huang believe her. However, that was impossible for now. Chapter 1895. Hu Chunhua furrowed her brows when she saw Zhao Xinhui's strange expression. She really couldn't understand why Zhao Xinhui would suddenly act like this. Shouldn't she mention young Master Huang? Zhao Baoshan, who was sitting in the courtyard, was smoking a pipe. He stopped what he was doing and said impatiently to Hu Chanhua, "The child is injured. What's the point of harping on and on about this? Can't you wait until Huiyer's injuries are healed? Let Huiyer decide whether she wants to go to the Huang estate or stay at home. Why are you blindly worrying about this?" After hearing Zhao Baoshan's words, Hu Chunhua's anger subsided a little. After thinking about Zhao Baoshan's words, she nodded and said, all right. Then let Hui rest well. AI, what should we do with her injuries? I have to make some delicious food for Hui to nourish her body." After saying that, Hu Chunhua wanted to go to the kitchen and get busy. "Auntie, let me send you into the house," Qin Yuan said politely. He was about to carry Zhao Xinhui when Hu Chunhua saw it. She glared at Qin Yuan and reprimanded him. "What are you trying to do, you stinking brat? You're even trying to touch my Hui? Let me tell you, don't even think about having ideas about my Huier. My Huier isn't someone you can climb up to." After being reprimanded by Hu Chunhua, Qin Yuan was a little embarrassed. However, he knew that Hu Chunhua was speaking the truth. He was indeed climbing up to Zhao Xinhui. Just as Qin Yuan was feeling sad, Zhao Xinhui unhappily retorted to Hu Chunhua, "Mother, what are you talking about? He helped me out of kindness, and you're still harping on it? If it weren't for Qin Yuan, I wouldn't have been able to come back today." Hu Chunhua hadn't thought of this. What she said just now was indeed a little too much. Zhao Baoshan said, "Huier is right. Old woman, don't make false claims before you figure out the situation. You'll only embarrass yourself if you misunderstand others." Hu Chunhua grunted in response. "But old man, Huier is a girl after all. It's not good to let this brat send her into the house. We have a lot of family members. Second brother, fourth brother, hurry up and send Huier into the house." Zhao Wenshui and Zhao Wentao responded. They walked to Zhao Xinhui and helped Zhao Xinhui into the house. Qin Yuan looked at Zhao Xinhui reluctantly, hoping that he would be the one to send Zhao Xinhui into the house. Qin Yuan put away the reluctance in his eyes and silently turned his head away. Zhao Baoshan thought that Qin Yuan had helped him a lot today, so he said to Hu Chunhua, "Old woman, why don't you cook more delicious food for them to stay for dinner tonight?" Hu Chunhua grunted in response. "All right then, I'll prepare a few more dishes later. It's just nice that I want to nourish Huiyer's body." Zhao Baoshan grunted in response, then looked at Qin Yuan and Zhao Ping. "Why don't the two of you stay for dinner?" How could Qin Yuan disagree? He hurriedly replied happily, Sure. At this moment, he wished that he could stay at old Zhao's house. That way, he could see Zhao Xinhui every day. Zhao Ping couldn't help but remind him, "Big brother Yuan, if we stay for dinner, won't it be dark when we return? It's not easy to walk at night." Chapter 1896. "But if you continue to blabber, do you believe that I won't slap you again?" Qin Yuan reprimanded her sternly. Zhao Ping trembled in fear and hurriedly shut her mouth. "Big brother Yuan, I won't say anything. All right." Zhao Baoshan took a puff of his pipe and said, "Don't worry. Ping, I won't be back too late. I'll get your grandmother to cook now. She'll finish eating early and go back. You didn't come here on two legs. Aren't you driving a donkey? Moreover, the sky is getting darker and darker. There's still a long time before it gets dark." After Zhao Baoshan finished speaking, Qin Yuan hurriedly agreed from behind. Yes. Master's right. It's not too late now." Zhao Ping was still resentful in her heart. How could she not know that Qin Yuan was reluctant to leave? When she thought about how Qin Yuan was still thinking about Zhao Xinhui, Zhao Ping's heart ached terribly. How could there be an aunt and a niece fighting over a man? Weren't they afraid of being laughed at if word of this got out? Yet, her aunt was a shameless person. The more Zhao Ping thought about it, the angrier she got. If Zhao Xinhui really snatched her husband one day, she would definitely kick up a fuss and make sure that Zhao Xinhui couldn't be a person in the village in the future. What the hell was going on? Hu Chunhua hurriedly agreed. All right. I'll go cook now. I'll go to the chicken coop and get an old hen to stew some soup. I think we should buy some longans and brown sugar for Huier to stew. She lost so much blood this time. She needs to recuperate well. Go quickly. Zhao Baoshan waved his hand and urged her. Okay, Hu Chunhua answered with a grin. In the blink of an eye, she arrived at the chicken coop and casually grabbed a fat old hen. When Zhao Wenxue saw this, he instantly felt jealous. His mother was really good to his little sister. She casually grabbed one of the chickens that they had painstakingly raised and gave it to Zhao Xinhui to nourish her body. He thought about how he was caught by Hu Chunhua and scolded for only drinking a bowl of chicken soup last time. It was as if he had done something unforgivable. When he saw Hu Chunhua shaking the old hen in her hand and thought about the taste of the chicken soup, Zhao Wenxue couldn't help but swallow his saliva. He then went up to Hu Chunhua and spoke to Hu Chunhua's. Mother, this old hen can make a lot of soup. Can I have a bowl of soup when the time comes? When she met Zhao Wenshue's expectant eyes, not only did Zhao Wenxue not agree, but he even scolded Zhao Wenxue. You're such a tasty but difficult cook. I didn't see you being so diligent when you were harvesting the vegetable seeds. You even asked your third brother and fourth brother to help you harvest them. Now you have the nerve to ask for chicken soup. When it comes to food, no one is as enthusiastic as you. After being scolded by Hu Chunhua, Zhao Wenxue felt embarrassed. However, he continued to think about Hu Chunhua's chicken soup. Since the banquet, he hadn't eaten anything good. Now, he only felt that his mouth was tasteless and wanted to eat something with meat. Chicken soup was the best. With a layer of butter floating on top, it was fragrant and delicious. Knowing that Hu Chunhua definitely didn't want to give him chicken soup because she couldn't bear to part with it, Zhao Wenxue hurriedly said, Mother, I won't drink your chicken soup for free. I'll pay you. Your son hasn't eaten anything good for a long time. Can't you give me a bowl of chicken soup? Hu Chunhua rolled her eyes and said, Okay, for copper coins per bowl. Chapter 1897. At this moment, Zhao Yun went to old Zhao's courtyard. After watching this scene, Zhao Yun only felt that it was very strange. Now that Zhao Xinhui was sent back, she would probably have to stay in old Zhao's house for a long time. As for the love triangle between Qin Yuan, Zhao Ping'er, and Zhao Xinhui, it could be treated as a joke. Ah, Yun girl is here. Seeing Zhao Yun come over, Qian Zhuzhe hurriedly greeted her. When Feng Zhangxia caught a glimpse of the basket of dumplings in Zhao Yun's hand, she also hurriedly came over. Yun girl, why are you here today? Seeing Feng Zhangxia's hypocritical look, Zhao Yun ignored her because she still had to ask about something she didn't understand. Instead, she held the basket in her hand and said to Qian Zhuzhe, Fourth aunt, I'm here to give you some dumplings. They've just been cooked at home. Qian Zhuzhe hurriedly said, Hey, Yun girl, you should eat the dumplings that your family made. Why are you still sending them to us? We have to make dumplings ourselves too. Zhao Yun smiled. It's okay, fourth aunt. You can send some dumplings to me when you're done making them. You can have a taste of my dumplings first. Feng Zhangxia hurriedly agreed. That's right, fourth sister-in-law. Since Yun girl is sending them over, you should just accept them. Why are you delaying it so much? Feng Zhangxia was afraid that Qian Zhuzhe would be too embarrassed to ask for them if she had already rejected them. Otherwise, wouldn't it seem that she was too greedy? But then again, my family may not be making dumplings today. Fourth sister-in-law, when your family makes dumplings, remember to send some to me to try. Zhao Yun couldn't help but roll her eyes. How could there be such a person? She only knew how to think about other people's things, but she was stingy. No one could compare to Feng Zhangxia's ability to be greedy for small gains. Qian Hongzhui had no choice but to agree. Since the other party had spoken, she couldn't say no, even though she was a little unhappy. After all, these days, they couldn't even bear to eat rice, let alone glutinous rice dumplings. Wasn't it just for the sake of the festive feeling? When the time came, he would definitely not pack too many. At most, he would let Feng Zhangxia have a taste. He would not give her too many. Here, fourth aunt, this is yours. Zhao Yun'er counted 15 zongzi and handed them to Qian Zhonghu. Although Qian Hongzhui was a little embarrassed, she still took it. At this time, Li Chuiying also came out. Zhao Yun'er counted 15 people and gave them to Li Chuiying. Feng Zhangxia immediately became anxious. Seeing that Zhao Yun'er hadn't given it to her, she hurriedly said, "Yun'er girl, where's mine? Where's mine?" The corner of Zhao Yun'er's mouth twitched. She replied indifferently, "Eldest aunt, why are you in such a hurry? It's not like it can run away." Feng Zhangxia's face reddened for a moment. Then she smiled embarrassedly and said, "This, Yun'er girl, aren't you looking forward to having an early bite to see what it tastes like?" Zhao Yun'er sneered. She was clearly afraid that the zongzi in her hand would run away, so she said that. Zhao Yun'er counted, then handed the eldest branch's portion to Feng Zhangxia. Feng Zhangxia took it and sighed in relief. She smiled and said, "Yun'er girl is still so kind. She gave us so much to eat." "Yun'er girl, what kind of fillings are you packing?" Zhao Yun'er faintly replied, "Salted meat." Chapter 1898. Thinking about it, Zhao Yun'er's family was indeed a bit rich. They must have spent a lot of money to make so many meat dumplings. Their family had gotten 15 meat dumplings for free, so they really made a profit. Feng Zhangxia smiled and said, "Meat dumplings are good. Meat dumplings are good. I've only eaten them once in my family's dozens of years of life, and I still miss the taste. I didn't expect that thanks to Yun'er, I can eat them again today." Zhao Yun ignored Feng Zhangxia and sent the remaining 15 meat dumplings to Hua Chunhua. Feng Zhangxia was even more embarrassed. After a while, she hurried into the room with the meat dumplings in her hand to let the men and Shun Pan taste them. After all, they were good things. Although Hua Chunhua and Zhao Yun didn't get along, when Zhao Yun sent meat dumplings over this time, her expression became much better. She also pretended to be amiable toward Zhao Yun'er. Yun actually sent meat dumplings over. And my father asked me to send them over. He said that it's the holidays so that you and grandfather can try some dumplings. Zhao Yun didn't take credit and directly pushed the matter to Zhao Wenhua. After hearing Zhao Yun'er's words, Zhao Baoshan continued to smoke and said, "Third brother is a filial son. In our family, only third brother and fourth brother are the most filial. The others aren't anything good." Zhao Baoshan's words were straightforward and clear. Hua Chunhua replied, "Third brother and fourth brother are indeed more filial than the other two, especially this second brother, who only knows how to eat and be lazy all day long. We're old now, so we can't count on him. It's already a good thing that he doesn't come over to ask for food. It was fine in the past, but after we split from the family, we can't control him anymore. He doesn't even farm his own family's land. I don't know what he wants to do." Just as she was scolding him, Zhao Wenshui came out of the room with some money. He looked at Hua Chunhua bitterly and muttered, "Mother, how can you say that about me?" Zhao Baoshan was still angry at Zhao Wenshui for not collecting the vegetable seeds. If it weren't for Zhao Wenshui, the vegetable seeds would have been wasted. These days, those vegetable seeds were worth a lot of money. If they were kept for a year, there would be enough oil for them to eat. So what if your mother says something about you? Wasn't that the truth? Aren't you the laziest in old Zhao's family? Even if you go to the village and take a look, you won't find many people like you. Zhao Wenshui was not convinced. "Dad, I'm just lazy for a while. Nothing will happen if I stay at home obediently. Look at Lu San in our village. He causes trouble all day long and flirts with little girls. Compared to that kind of person, at least my character is not bad, right?" Zhao Baoshan was amused by Zhao Wenshui and said sarcastically, "You brat, you still have the nerve to say that. I think you've almost forgotten about the incident between you and Widow Qian, right?" Zhao Wenshui was suddenly embarrassed. He blushed and called faintly, "Dad, okay, don't talk about him. I'm annoyed when I see him." Hua Chunhua snorted softly. At the same time, she took the 4 copper coins in Zhao Wenshui's hand. Zhao Wenshui was very sad that he was being despised. He had no choice but to turn around and say, "Mother, remember to call me when the chicken soup is ready." I know, I know." Hu Chunhua waved her hand impatiently. When he turned around, he suddenly caught a glimpse of the zongzi in Li Chueying's hand. He rushed to Li Chueying and grabbed them all. He complained, "You're really a woman. Why didn't you call me out to eat such good food?" Chapter 1899. Li Chueying grumbled, "Tianyu's father, I didn't call you on purpose. Isn't it because Yin'er just sent them over?" Zhao Wenxuei snorted coldly and said, all right, you only know how to talk back. I'll eat these dumplings." Li Chueying hurriedly reminded him, "Tianyu's father, Yin'er only sent over a dozen dumplings. Don't eat them all by yourself. Give Tianyu some wine." She hadn't eaten any dumplings herself. She heard that Zhao Yun said they were salted meat dumplings, so she wanted to have a bite. Unfortunately, she didn't dare to tell Zhao Wenxuei that this man was like this. He would probably scold her if he ate a dumpling. Zhao Wenxuei replied impatiently, I know. You're so long-winded." After Zhao Wenxuei finished speaking, he walked into the room with the dumplings. Seeing Zhao Wenxuei's behavior, Zhao Yun was disgusted. She couldn't help but say to Li Chueying, "Second aunt, there are so many dumplings. Don't you want to eat any of them? Why don't you ask second uncle to get some for you?" I'll forget it. If he wants to eat, let him eat. I'm too lazy to argue with him. I don't want to make a scene at home." Li Chueying looked helpless. It was obvious that Li Chueying was heartbroken because of Zhao Wenxuei. It was sad for a woman to meet a man like this. He was useless, and he even deliberately made you angry. Zhao Yun sympathized with Li Chueying's fate. Fortunately, Zhao Wenxuei was born in ancient times. Women relied on men to survive, and the divorce rate was not high. She was afraid that people would talk about it. If this was the 21st century, which woman would be able to tolerate her man being lazy and even flaunting his prowess at home? "Second sister-in-law, you can eat my food." Qian Zhurong also sympathized with Li Chueying. She took a few dumplings from the dumplings Zhao Yun'er gave her and stuffed them into Li Chueying's hands. Li Chueying hurriedly waved his hand and refused. "Fourth sister-in-law, how can you do that? Yun'er gave it to you. Your family should eat it. Why are you giving it to me?" Qian Zhonghu smiled and said, "It's okay, second sister-in-law. You can eat it. I'll leave some at home to eat. I just want to taste it and hope to fill my stomach." Li Chueying hesitated for a moment, but Qian Zhozha had already stuffed the dumplings into Li Chueying's hands. "Second sister-in-law, don't refuse me anymore. If you refuse again, I will be angry." Seeing Qian Zhonghu's serious face, Li Chun felt a little embarrassed and said, "Then fourth sister-in-law, I just want to try. Don't give me so many, okay?" Qian Zhui thought about it. It was good for both of them to take a step back. She nodded and said, "All right, second sister-in-law. You could try one." "Okay." Li Chueying responded with a smile, and a touch of emotion emerged in her heart. She was not old Zhao's sisters-in-law. She could not live in old Zhao's house anymore. On the other side, Hu Chunhua, who said Zhao Yun'er's dumplings, quickly took the dumplings into Zhao Xinhui's house. Whenever there was something good, the first thing he thought of was his daughter. He wanted his daughter to have a good taste. There were a total of 15 dumplings. 5 of them were given to Zhao Baoshan. She only needed to eat 2 dumplings. The remaining 8 were all given to Zhao Xinhui. In old Zhao's courtyard, everyone had already peeled off the dumplings and started eating. The fragrance of the bamboo leaves and the glutinous rice made everyone take a deep breath and swallow their saliva. Chapter 1900. It tastes even better. People say that zongzi with salted meat is different. It has a meaty aroma when you eat it. It's a pity that ordinary people like us can't afford to eat such zongzi. It's all thanks to Yun. Zhao Yun'er smiled. Actually, bacon isn't that expensive. So many zongzi only cost about 2 caddies of meat. It's only 30 copper coins more than the ordinary ones. Yun'er, we countrymen have to make a living. 30 copper coins isn't a small amount. Ordinary people can't bear to spend it. Zhao Yun smiled and thought about the hard days she had with Daodu at the beginning. Not to mention 30 copper coins. Even if it was 3 copper coins, she was not willing to spend it. Poor people were like this when they spent money. They calculated carefully and hoped to save as much as they could. Everyone in the courtyard was eating happily, except for Zhao Ping, and Qin Yuan. Zhao Ping, couldn't help swallowing her saliva when she saw the food. She couldn't help but move closer to Zhao Yun and ask Zhao Yun, you've given Zongzi to other relatives. I'm your sister, so I have to get one too, right? Faced with Zhao Ping's matter-of-fact tone, Zhao Yun frowned in annoyance. Who do you think you are? Why should I give it to you? I'd rather give Zongzi to a dog than to those heartless people. If I give it to a dog, the dog will wag its tail and bark at me. But Zhao Ping, what do you think I'll get if I give it to you? What else can you do except go against me every day? Zhao Ping's eyes suddenly turned red. Zhao Yun, fine, you treat me like this. Who's heartless? In my opinion, you're the most heartless one. You be *TCH. If you don't give it to me, I'll ask Mother for it. Mother will definitely give it to me. Zhao Ping was about to walk toward Zhao Yun's house. Zhao Yun stared coldly at Zhao Ping. Sister Ping, don't waste your energy. I bought these dumplings with my own money. Without my approval, who would dare to give you the dumplings? Do you still think that Liang will spoil you like before? I can give you whatever you want. You're thinking too much. Zhao Ping felt like she was about to vent her anger. Zhao Yun, you don't push your luck. Sister Ping, you're thinking too much. I've always been like this. You, on the other hand, don't push your luck. When the time comes, you won't be able to stay in your in-laws' family, and your maiden family won't like you either. You. Zhao Ping's fingers trembled. Looking at Zhao Yun's appearance, she wanted to teach her a lesson. However, she knew that it would be like hitting an egg against a rock. She wouldn't get any benefits. If there's nothing else, then I'll leave first. Zhao Yun curled her lips and walked towards her house. Facing Zhao Yun swaggering back, Zhao Ping swallowed her anger. Zhao Ping originally wanted to go to Qin Yuan to cry and complain. Who knew that crying didn't work? Instead, she was caught by Qin Yuan and scolded. If you ask me, Zhao Ping, you're too stupid. Why did you have to go against Zhao Yun previously? Don't you know who to please? If you get closer to Zhao Yun now, I reckon that you won't miss out on us. Zhao Ping replied aggrievely. Big brother Yuan, I just can't stand Zhao Yun's arrogant and proud look. Although she's my biological sister, she's very annoying. You're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.